Hello, everybody! Welcome to the Dead Unicorn. We are playing Vallanthia Open D6 Fantasy System. But, we haven't played this in a while. We gotta get back into the groove of things. We're gonna have Howard here do a recap, I'm sure. But before we do that, I'd like to introduce everybody. My name, of course, is Corey. I play White Ape. We are joined with Sarah, who plays Esri. Tarek, who plays Erda. There he is. And Matt, who plays Tom. And our game master is Howard. So,
I play everything else.
that's right. So, what's really important here is that one of us gets a special benefit that is given to us by our patrons. Our patrons are, of course, scrolling in the upper left-hand corner, and we thank them for their patronage. If you can, go on over there, and you can vote too, as long as you donate $1. If not, just subscribe, tell people that we exist. We appreciate that just as much, as we are a small YouTube channel, very small.
Planning to bring the love of role-playing games.
The winner of today's special benefit, which is a character point that they can use to increase any one of their rolls, is Erda. Congratulations, Erda.
Yay!
Fantastic. I'm always consistently the character in this game with the lowest amount of XP, so I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Helps me dramatically.
To keep in mind, though, a lot of you gain quite a bit of XP by flubbing rolls.
Oh, yes.
And you
yes.
have done that.
That is true. That is very true.
All right, everybody.
I'm just saying, I often use
rolls?
I often use my my character points to reroll. That's why.
Flubbing. Flubbing
Oh,
rolls.
flubbing.
Flubbing
Gotcha.
rolls. If you
I don't know
remember
what
that
you
rule.
heard, but I didn't. I don't think I said that F word.
Flooding. Flooding. That's
Oh,
what
I thought you said flubber.
Flubber those rolls.
So, Howard, I'm going to relinquish my hosting duties on over to you, and we can begin the game.
Well, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to have to pull up some notes.
Oh. I just put
No,
a
I'm good,
chocolate
I'm
in my
good.
mouth. I can't take it back.
Our gang
Shove it back
managed
into
to...
Corey's mouth. Ugh.
Shut up. Our gang managed to rid themselves of a demonic infection and get back together. They stand in what appears to be a storage room within the Cathedral of Light. White Ape has created an easy escape route, which has already been used by Airdrek. Tom and Esri are still dealing with the sagging flesh issues, while Erda is dealing with his inability to save Johann. And a strange glowing elf stands amongst the group. Which we're no longer in combat rounds, so anybody can take any action they like at this time. And I believe at the end of our last game, Corey said he wanted to say next, "Who are you?" or something to that effect, but that was right after I called game.
I actually pointed over to the glowing elf, and I said, "Who's that?"
That was pretty close. I think that's good memory since I didn't actually write that particular comment in my notes. That was pretty close.
Yeah, pretty good.
Also,
Impressive.
why do you smell like throw up? Oh.
The glowing elf looks at himself and looks down like,
No, I don't think it's you. I don't. Erda? Tom? You guys, nasty. Have you been puking on each other?
You don't want to know what Tom squirted on me. I say as I'm pounding the chest, trying to CPR Johann back into life.
My.
Tom is not sure how to respond to Erda's statement, but Tom will mention to White Ape and Terran, this gentleman helped us while we were trying to rid ourselves of this strange demonic infection. Both Esri and I were infected.
Right.
And we were able to rid ourselves of it, and also thanks to the help of this. I gotta pull up my notes because I unfortunately
what am I, chopped liver? I was the one squeezing all that shit out of you.
Yes, and I was going to
Apparently.
mention that you
You
helped too.
Hey,
a
Yeah.
lot.
you
He
can't
a lot.
respond to him. He's
He was
talking
there
to
just to
Taryn.
get sprayed on, whatever.
He was
Do you know
there.
Taryn? Do you know Taryn? Zip
Yeah,
it. He's
that's
talking
true.
to me, okay?
Yeah. I'm busy beating on the chest of a dead guy over here, so I get you.
Well, where's my
Yeah.
notes?
Out of character moment. He had a whole backstory.
Kyle
and I liked that
Ellis.
NPC, but the dice did what they did.
Yeah.
And so
I liked him.
you know,
I wanted him to
I
survive.
feel it too.
Yeah.
You know?
I actually wanted him to survive. I wanted to try to save him, but
So there is a cure. I look at everybody. I'm just saying it in the regular tongue. So there is a cure. We can cure these people. And the cure is not holy water.
My name is Kyle Ellis, and you are correct. Holy water will burn them like a fire, which you seem to have already found.
Well, I was trying to figure out the best way to save these people's lives without getting myself killed.
There are rituals that can banish demons back to where they come from, exorcise demonic taint out of individuals that are from all realms. Unfortunately, it's a lot of work to prepare the ritual for just one person, and this seems to have spread to several. And I don't think you should blame yourselves for what has happened here, if you felt any guilt. You could
I
not
look
have
over at
easily
Erda.
exorcised these people.
And I look over at Erda. I'm like, of course not. This is not our fault at all in any way, shape, or form. There's a basement filled with demonic mist that changed these people. And it spread into the sewers a little bit, and I think might be demon rats. I hope I sealed up where the sewer and the dungeon met, so I hope it doesn't spread any further. But I need to let you know that.
also, there's this thing about a genie.
A genie.
Hey, there might be a demon genie. That's a thing. Oh geez. Oh. I don't. There's a lot happening, and it's really hard to unpack it
I feel
all.
like I need to make a roll to see if this guy would know. I mean, he has a huge amount of arcane lore, so he probably knows what genies are, but as to what exactly would happen, I don't think you would know that one offhand.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, it took all of us by surprise, really.
That's fair. All right.
Yahtzee.
He mulls that thought over. That is an interesting issue. I prefer these ideas more when they are theoretical than something we're about to fight.
Yeah.
As a theoretical issue, I would be happy to hypothesize what would happen should a genie become infected with what has clearly happened here. But in actuality, I would not.
Well, we haven't seen it with our own eyes, but we do know that there was a genie in this dungeon when it got demonized.
When the taint began to spread throughout the asylum.
Hmm.
There was a blood mist.
Do you know any specifics as to how this began or what?
I look at Erda and I'm like, yeah, Erda, can you lay out on some of those specifics?
There was an exorcism attempted to save a man's life, and through the process of the exorcism, it seems that demons, or a demon, breached the veil into Vallanthia, Valanth, and we were set upon to destroy it.
Well, By the way, you got all the info from Erdrick on the evil necromancer books running around town?
Pardon? Oh, not me. Okay.
I'm talking to Erda.
We have discussed the group that he was taken in yet.
Great, cause he went through the hole and got away.
What? What hole?
That one right there is a little escape hatch. Yeah, I move like I move like a barrel away from the door. And there's a little.
Where did he go?
I just told him to escape. Like, I didn't want him to get killed. What are you talking about? I don't know. I can't talk to him. We do complicated sign language to communicate.
Look, Erdrick was a very accomplished man.
Look,
I am not sure he can survive out there on his own.
I think he feels indebted to us. If we find him again, I'm sure he'll...
I just don't want him to end up dead before we do find him again.
Yeah, that's why I wanted him to escape. Because this is a dangerous place in here. I'm sure, like, I think he'll be okay. And if we need to find him, I'm sure we can track down a man who only speaks in Reptile.
Ka. His name was Ka, right? Ka Ellis?
Yes.
Ka. I do believe that this demon who breached the veil also utilized some form of runic magic. Perhaps that is where he triggered such a apocalyptic, catastrophic event.
No, those runes were there to... out of character. Those runes were there to keep him in. They weren't his runes.
Were also runes that he used afterward.
Was there?
After he
I don't remember
escaped,
that at all.
That's
there was
correct,
an additional use of rune magic.
Okay.
But he was using demonic rune
It's
magic.
been a while.
Correct,
I
right.
just want to make sure.
Or I'm going to need you to work on your eidetic memory and just flex that muscle. All right. Interesting. There are two forms of runic magic. From what you're describing, I assume it's more of the kind used for portals than the kind used for the controlling of others. He's looking at you. Erwin.
There is a dark form of runic magic, yes, that controls not only the will of others, but can apparently bend some of reality to the user's will. I am a scholar of magic, but I have not done exhaustive research in this area. I can tell you, however, this creature was immensely powerful. Its true name we have discovered as Valrukar. I do not know if you are familiar with the...
I do not know Valrukar offhand. I would have to search my notes, nor am I accomplished in the magic of naming. But that is still helpful in order to learn more about it. As for what I was referring to, there are two forms of runic magic. There is one that is focused on bending space and traveling to other areas, even into other dimensions, creating portals of such, versus another form of runic magic, which is very similar to naming, actually, where you can command others with a mark. But what you're describing, if they brought here something from the Hell Realms, this mist, then that would be the more portal type.
I see what you're saying. Indeed, I believe you are correct.
So I have a question for you, Kyle. Are you an Azure Order person or something like that?
I am not. The Azure Order is not something I care for, nor am I a member of the Temple of Light. I am, however, the demonologist employed by the family of Valon, the royal family that rules this entire continent.
Is this the only stronghold of the Azure Order?
I suppose you could look at it as a stronghold. They refer to it as a church, and they have churches throughout the continent and many major cities.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, like, I think they might all be dead now, except for the ones, the four others that are now demonized. There were four other, like, poor Johann here, and they're still loose. And they were just slaughtering everybody. Tom,
To
Esri,
save time, are any of you followers of the Temple of Light? Are any of you members of the temple?
Tom shakes his head.
Great. I can speak more freely then. The Temple of Light is a religion of humans that believes that light serves some sort of essence of goodness rather than just light from the sun. Now, the royal family, well, not really so much them, as an advisor to them that is currently ruling in the stead of the youngest member of the royal family that should be the next queen, has authorized military forces that are named in ways that seem very clerical, and they work alongside the church to defeat enemies that are both political and heretical. So the Azure Order is actually fighting those that would use demon magics and those that summon demons or the undead, whereas the Crimson Order fights those that are members of the Temple of Flame, or actually they're called something else. Flame, I forget. I'm not really into the religion aspect, but something, I believe it's Apostles of Flame. But those people have a more fight against oppression ideology, which is not appreciated by the royal family, or at least those that are currently ruling, which is actually a man who rules in the stead of the royal family. And that is what's going on. As for what we're going to do about this mess, as their demonologist, when the only reason I took the job is I do believe demons don't belong here, I can tell you that if there's a giant red mist filling the asylum that sits beneath this church, and you say that it was summoned here by a demon named Valrukar, he looks like he's honestly like going over everything you've said and trying to bring it each detail up as he speaks. Valrukar, then, if he's using runic magic, it actually won't be too hard to reverse the runes or dispel them, as runic magic can be spelled literally by breaking the runes. And the upside of runic magic that's portals, you need only to face the rune. If it's the other type of runic magic that's controlling a person, then you have to cut the person wherever the rune was put, and that can be messy.
hey,
Well, if the rune is anywhere, it's going to be downstairs. And if we're going to travel back into the den, I suggest you come prepared, fully armed.
I believe I am quite prepared. The
close-
light from this staff is prepared to repel a certain type of energy that basically is what comes from their realms.
Hey, Esri, Tom.
It is very similar to what they call the light, but I am not a follower of the light.
Esri, Tom.
Yes.
I got a question. You guys, this infection, this demon stuff got into you guys.
Yes.
Like it got into Johann and the others.
Apparently.
I was yelling at y'all to try and get you out of the mist in hopes that once you got out, you'd turn back to normal, and that didn't happen. Why
When
didn't
we
you...
were infected, our perception was different. It appeared like you and the others who weren't infected were the demons to us.
That makes sense. So you saw that I was becoming a demon. Why didn't you attack me?
We were trying to help you. We thought you'd been infected.
I tried to keep my wits about myself. I had a sneaking suspicion, and this is me talking in Terran. I had a sneaking suspicion that due to the mists, like my vision was being warped, and I was being affected in some way.
I
But
thought
there were times
perhaps
I was very tempted.
I thought perhaps my vision was being distorted by the mist too, and that maybe that you weren't being turned into demons, but maybe my brain was not good. I had that thought as well. I'm glad it was you. No, forget I said anything.
I'm laughing out of character. I'm glad it was you, but not me. Okay, guys.
Oh.
Sorry.
Because I'm not the one who looks like a flying squirrel right now. All that loose flesh just jingling off my arms.
Ew.
Weird to see a mushroom fleshy like that.
More fleshy than usual. Like,
Forget I said that. I
Tom,
apologize.
Did you just go through some
that did not come out
liposuction?
right.
You know there's a procedure to get rid of the excess skin, right?
Okay, so what's the plan? Oh, Esri, does that light hurt you at all, or can you use your shadow magic?
It is not hurting anyone that is currently present.
It doesn't hurt me, but it makes me weaker.
Okay.
I
My magic is not as strong in the light.
close Johan's eyes, and then I'll stand up slowly.
My magic
Alice
works.
looks over Esri as she says that and thinks for a moment and goes, "My apologies. There's no way I can use this light to protect us all without also putting it over you. Think of it as an umbrella of protection, which I can see where in your unique situation that might be uncomfortable due to your race, I'm assuming."
I understand. It'll be fine.
And he is a fellow elf. He's just Losfar. He's one of the glowing elves, not one of the black elves.
Yeah, she's not going to correct him on that assumption. She just doesn't answer. It'll be fine.
And it makes total sense that he would assume that's because you're a black elf, not because he doesn't know what you do.
Let us.
Well, I'm going to let him assume that. I'm not going to correct him.
Let us bring peace back
Very
to
well.
this place.
We will do what we can. I am sorry that your friend has passed. He looks right at Erda, who looked like he's been trying to save this poor fellow Johan, which he doesn't know Johan personally, but he can tell that you seem to be affected.
And I do. My character does look very downtrodden that he couldn't rescue this guy. This dude has done a lot for them, and so trying to repay that debt was important to Erda.
Speaking of the royal
I do
family,
not possess the magics required to bring the deceased back. That is a rare form of healing magic that I do not have.
I just sigh.
Speaking of the royal family,
What-
Erda, did you
What
save?
ab-
I'm sorry, Esri. What were you saying?
What about you, Erda? We saw you do something rather amazing along those lines. Can't you help him?
I look back and go, he has passed what I can do.
Erda,
Unfortunate.
speaking of the royal family and all, did you save His Highness? Did you find him on your way out?
I went back hunting for his
His
remains.
name was Huber. I'm just going to throw that out there just because.
Huber Vallanthia.
Huber Valon.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I had it literally in my notes as Mr. Valon.
That works. Basically, he claimed to be the grandfather of the girl that would be currently the queen, but she's too young, which is why there's a regent in place.
I looked for Huber, but when I went back in, I could not find him.
Maybe he got.
I was
out.
also in a bit of a rush due to being hunted by other creatures down there. And then Holm and Esri came upon me, and I was unsure whether they would see me as friend or foe. I attempted to escape, and at that, Talm barreled behind me and managed to,
Oh yeah, I forgot. Cal needs to know there's also a chef that's been demonized and 2 maids.
Also, the
The name
dwarf seems
Hubert
to have been
Vallon I
affected.
have heard.
He was-
That human is supposed to be deceased.
There was a man inside of the asylum who claimed to be Hubert Vallan, and that he had been imprisoned for many years. However, we could not verify the validity of his claim before all hell broke loose, quite literally.
I can only tell you of what I know of the Hubert Vallon that was once the king of Vallanthia. Is said that he died with an army that attacked a dragon. The dragon was raging and rampaging through the countryside. He led an army out, and the entire army, to my understanding, did not return. I can neither prove nor disprove the claim that this man is or is not Hubert.
Well, his remains were no longer within the building, so he either escaped or something far worse happened. But if we are going to bring peace this day, we need to make haste. I suggest we start making our way down to the asylum. I somberly turn and start walking back toward the coop.
All right.
Um,
I'm not going to bring up the map because this is going to go a little faster right now due to what you've already done in the past and now the new power you have with you. You all descend back down. I assume that you're all going back down through the regular route through the church.
Yeah.
You're not going to bother to use the new escape route that was made by Corey's character, Winterborn, Chthonian, White Ape. All the names.
Whatever his name is.
Winterborn Chthonian, White Ape of the Spring, son of the fallen matron
Of
with
the
sun
spring. I
kissed
missed
skin.
that part.
Beautiful name.
And
Thank you.
so you go back down through the church. Currently, you don't hear any more noises. No one else is screaming. You don't hear anything else bumping around and like breaking anything anymore. You're not sure what that means. Like, have they escaped out into the streets? Are they on, just taking a lunch? But you don't hear it at the moment.
Yeah, they all decided to get together with the chef.
I am tired. Need tacos.
Taco Tuesday.
A pound of flesh for all.
Where's my carne guisada?
And you head down into the asylum, and from that map, remembering where everything was, it's actually a short journey, as you all know the way, to navigate it around to where the last rune you saw, which was in the room where you split Airdrek from the demon.
In the cell on the far
Ricardo.
side, yeah.
So with you leading the way and showing him where to go and him using that, you're going to notice almost immediately that as long as he's carrying that staff, that red mist just dissipates as he approaches. It's almost like when you bring like a really hot, source over, just like fog. The fog just will just vanish as it goes away. And he is carrying you through easily. You get back to that rune, and you pointed out to him, I'm assuming, because you know where it is, and he does not.
Of course, yeah.
So,
I will
Cal-
definitely point it out to him, and I will also warn him about because remember the gate to that room is kind of bunked.
So, Cal,
So we gotta.
I remember
we gotta-
it was super bent. I think that y'all also broke it open.
We did afterward, but it's
Yeah.
still, that whole area is going to be kind
Um,
of bunk. It's going
so-
to be bloody and
Cal,
Yeah.
that's
just
a,
not
that's
the
a,
greatest place to hang out. But I'll navigate him through there and then show him the runes and
Yeah.
go, this I believe was the rune that he set up.
a-
if-
a- as we're going and the mist is like being push back. I do want to ask him about the staff. It's like that's a really interesting staff there. Why do you have it and an order like the Azure Order doesn't have anything like that? In fact, when we told them about the demon attacking underneath, they seemed genuinely unprepared. Wait! The sword!
Sword?
Johan's
You
sword.
know what you're talking about.
Johan's silver steel, the needly the sword. It could help us fight demons. Apparently, it goes through their armor.
Name it Sting. Sting.
Well,
Not,
we gotta go
not
back.
the sword, but the singer. It's named after the singer.
We gotta go back and get that item. But yeah, why do you have that staff and these people who devote themselves to like getting rid of demons?
This staff's power does not come from the sun or a light that they believe in. Rather, is an Elysian artifact. It's one of those things where if my thing might disprove your religion, you choose not to acknowledge its existence.
Sounds like a typical human response.
When he says Elysian artifact, I like my one eye slowly like droops down a little like
Like it's suddenly egg yolk.
like oh okay whatever.
You don't have to know what it means.
I look over to him and ask him if he can understand me in Elysian.
He looks at you with a like quizzical look on his brow, and then responds in Elysian, but is not what you speak. It's like it's the same, but with a much friendly. Like if
Like a
somebody
friendlier
spoke
attitude?
English with a French accent versus English with a German accent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
his-
just
his is
one
much
just
more
sounds
fluid
more
and mine's much
melodic,
harsher.
more
Yeah.
dulcet, if you will.
Perfect.
Well played.
No one's gonna get that in joke, guys. We weren't-
It happened before we
might.
started streaming,
They
folks.
might. They might. People know that term.
So before the stream started, Tarek said that Howard had a
Explain the
dulcet
joke.
voice. And Howard is like, well, what is that? That sounds great, but what does it mean? And Tarek looked it up and it says, because apparently nobody knew. And Tarek looked it up and said melodic, easy to listen to. And then Matt asked Siri what dulcet means. And Siri quite clearly stated that it's usually stated ironically.
Letting
It
us
was,
know
it was actually Google
time.
because I use an Android,
Oh,
but you know,
Whatever.
But-
Well, it
Potato,
also
potato.
lets us know that this entire time Tarek has been making fun of me.
Yes. Google definitely called him out on that.
whoop-de-doo.
Apparently, you shouldn't do before a game because you might get exploded. I trust Howard. Yeah. So he definitely notices that I have a much stranger accent.
You have the ironic dulcet.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Erda has a bout of explosive diarrhea, and nobody
right?
knows why.
Yeah. He just shits himself to death in the in the cell, and y'all just leave.
That's dysentery.
Turns out we were playing what was it? I forgot the name where you get the game where you get dysentery all the time. We're playing that. all
Oh,
along.
Oregon Trail.
Oh,
Oregon Trail. There it is.
We're playing Oregon Trail. God damn, dude, that was one of my favorite
Alright.
games to play. when I was a kid.
I always saw my classmates playing that game. I'm like, I always looked at my classmates jealously going, I want to play that. But like, it was always a special privilege for kids who on good behavior to get to play on the computers, and I was just one of the kids that was just not allowed on the computers.
I don't know what you were doing wrong. I felt like playing it was the punishment.
It kind of was, because that was the game that like teachers always let us play if they didn't have any lesson plan
yeah,
started.
it's like I got nothing else to do. Play this.
I was in a
crappy game.
Catholic private school at the time. This is like around kindergarten.
No, this
Yeah,
was
I was playing.
public school.
I was playing Oregon Trail and Hunt the Wumpus, the two worst games I ever played.
There was a
Hunt the
video game,
Wumpus?
I forget what it's called, but it was a computer game that taught you music theory, but it was just a bunch of dinosaurs, and you had to like press these weird glowy goop buttons, and then like music would happen, and it would show like weird dinosaur animations as they were jamming out to the rock music you were making. It was just really weird.
That's actually the scientific theory about how Jurassic Park worked.
Yeah, that's true. Those who didn't know, if you press goop, music comes out, and the dinosaurs are just tame now.
And life finds a way.
Yeah. Great fucking reference.
Now, way back to
Back to
wherever
the
it is we
game?
were in this game. And I'll be honest, I'm completely off track, but I think it had something to do with
Rune.
y'all were asking about the staff, and he was explaining that it's just an artifact that's Elysian and may or may not disprove the light religion. So it's not acknowledged by them this way. That's why they would not have it.
And Erda was asking you in his strange dialect in Elysian if you can speak Elysian, even though
And,
if he
right.
did,
And he
it-
responds, "Yes, I understand you. You have an interesting manner of speaking."
It must be, I learned this on my own through books, so if my pronunciation is off, it is likely due to the fact that I have not had someone to converse with in such a long time.
You can make an acumen. I think it's streetwise if you have it. Otherwise, straight acumen to watch his reaction to your bullcrap.
Yeah, to my
If you
obvious...
convince him, you can also make a charisma persuasion.
Okay, so the acumen is an 11. The charisma persuasion,
Yeah.
which I do apparently have, is a 12.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well.
Yeah, it is. Because it's a 6
Oh yeah, it
plus
is.
1.
Yeah, it is. It
Oh
is.
yeah. Oh
You're
yeah.
correct.
Okay, I see.
It took me a sec. I had to stare at it for a sec, but yeah.
You're
Yeah, I
right.
only have 2 dice.
So
Not the most charismatic.
from that, as you watch him, basically he gives you this severe Spock eyebrow, but he doesn't respond, and I'll let you take that as you will with those two rolls.
Yeah, I attempt immediately to change the subject now and go, so this rune, I believe, if we are to disrupt it, might carry away this terrible burden.
Now, to disrupt this, it is important to deface the rune, but to do it, you must use something that is either magical or something that can rend magic. Does anyone have at least a silver weapon?
Johann does.
Who's Johann?
The
You
dead
look overall.
man in the room. I guess we need to run back real quick and grab it.
I will go get it. I'll be back shortly. I can move very quickly.
Well, actually,
Red.
he makes a motion to stop you. Do you acknowledge him or do you run?
No, yeah, if he stops me, I'll stop.
All right, like he doesn't like physically grab you. He just
Well, yeah,
like,
but
"Hey."
you know,
Okay.
if he's trying to delay me for some reason, I'll stop to hear him out.
Okay. Because he adds, I don't know how difficult it was for you traversing this area before, but without this, he points to the big staff he's holding.
Well,
It
I'm
might be less easy because this mist, if it is what I believe it is, could affect your perceptions. Or worse, and he kind of glances at a couple of your compatriots, specifically Esri and Tom.
yeah.
Do something
in both our
worse.
saggy glory.
Right?
Y'all look great.
I-
Out of character, there are a couple of ways I can think of offhand to fix it. If y'all think of ways that might also work, that's great, and we'll run with it. But you aren't necessarily going to be horrible looking characters forever.
I go. Very, very good point. I don't know what I was thinking. I simply was considering that since I am Huldafolk, I might be considered quicker than others in attempting to traverse back.
He seems to consider that for a moment. The abilities of your race are amazing, and I will admit to being slightly envious. However, you still must, I believe, appear within somewhere you can see,
Indeed.
so you will still be traveling through this.
Of course. You are right. Perhaps we should make the journey together.
I will take you back then. I would recommend that we all walk together.
Yes, of course. Let's go.
Unless y'all would like to roleplay conversation through the entire time, I'll fast forward. If you do want to talk, don't let me fast forward. Please roleplay.
Actually, I kind of try to not really pull him aside, but just kind of talk to him quietly under my breath, so that just he will hear. And I'm gonna ask him about. Don't get mad at me. I lost my notes when I moved, but
Ellis.
huh?
His name is Kyle Ellis.
No,
I'm
that
sure.
wasn't what I was gonna ask. What I was gonna ask was, do you remember the place I went where they had like the dark magic stuff?
Oh,
I don't remember the names of anything because I lost my notes, but
no, that's fine.
that's what I'm going to ask him about, kind of quietly, to see if
That's
he's
totally
heard
fair.
of it
I'm
or
trying to
knows anything
remember.
about it.
Like, I know the actual names of the stuff, but I'm trying to remember what information I specifically gave you. So give me just a sec. Because I don't always give you all the exact correct information. You understand.
Yes, I understand.
'Cause I love you.
Unreliable
All of
narrator.
you. You're all great. But I totally F with you to make the story more fun. But I know you were looking for the Temple of Shadow, I believe, and you met a woman
Yes.
and a weird little gnome, I believe. Is that correct? Is that what we're
Yes.
talking about?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
All right. I found one of my notes regarding you, but it was one of the now either giant, horrible, mutated guards or possibly a dead guard. Actually, I think he is dead. That guy's name was Joss Rink, if you had ever asked, but I don't think you did. The guy who liked you and kept hitting on you and he kept giving you information.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I
Yep,
didn't
he's dead
actually
now.
ask his name.
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay, well.
I remember that guy. He's
Oh, well.
dead.
Oh
Dead.
well.
Dead.
He's a good guy.
Doesn't matter.
Shame.
His little storyline went. Yep, that's what happens.
Basically, I'm wanting to ask him about that lady and her shop, and also I'm going to try to work the Temple of Shadow into the conversation too, just to see if he's heard of any of it.
Right. All right. So you met an obnoxious gnome and a mysterious and bejeweled lady, antique dealer with an obvious interest in your shadow magic and possibly you, because she was a little. You don't know if she was gay, bi, whatever, but she looked like she was totally hitting on you. And she trained information on the crime-based religion and how to infiltrate their meeting place known as the Shadow Temple. And that, I assume, is what you're referring to. Okay, cool.
Yes. But
So,
I'm
I
going
needed a
to
little
be
drink, so I
quiet
can
about it so that hopefully
talk.
nobody else overhears what I'm asking him.
All right. He listens intently, and he's a little bit quiet for a moment where you're almost like, is he ignoring me or is he thinking? You're not sure. And then he glances at you and says to you in Sylphan, which is the elven language, the Shadow Temple are followers of Shelusa, the goddess of malefactors. And her blessing is an aura of sort of fear. And her followers will use that to frighten people, to force them to do what you want. So imagine if there was a goddess of thugs, this would be a good explanation for that.
Do I recognize the name at all?
Do you have any academics under your intelligence? Any skills that revolve around knowing stuff?
I think so.
Otherwise,
Let me
it's
look.
straight intelligence.
Got it. Hang on.
Scholar.
Scholar. That's the word. Thank you. I don't have the
Yes,
character sheet
that's
open
the
in front of
one.
me.
All right, hang on. I was trying to get my character sheet open earlier and it didn't want to open up, but let me try again.
That's Corey's fault, because he programmed Roll20. It's all Corey.
Clearly.
I put them in on
Obviously,
purpose
Corey
to
did it.
frustrate you.
It was his first shot. I mean, come on.
Man. All right, let's see here. Come
I
on.
use Mel.
Ah, I got it. All right. Okay, so let's see. You said under acumen,
Intelligence.
intelligence. Oh, intellect.
yeah.
I do have scholar. Should I roll scholar?
Yes, totally roll Scholar. That's your knowing stuff. If you have a specialization under Scholar with cool shadowy stuff, that would also work. Or
I do not.
religions.
No.
Okay.
I do not.
All right. With that roll, you have heard of, hang on, let me say the name right, Shaylu saw before, and his description sounds basically accurate, kind of like whenever someone is describing a religion that is not their own, so they kind of give you this like chainsawed version of that religion that sounds kind of like disrespectful, but not necessarily inaccurate. So it's that.
Okay.
Yes, Shaylusa is a goddess of basically thugs, and she gives, and her blessing does, like he said, give a bonus to them to intimidate people into giving in and allowing her people to kind of overrun others.
What's her name
But
again?
they often operate from shadows. She's a shadow magic goddess, from your understanding with that role. And you also, let me see, double check your role here.
What's her name again?
Shaylusa.
Shay Saw.
The spelling is nothing like the pronunciation, and I apologize for that.
Shay.
But because the spelling is Shelussa,
Chainsaw.
and the pronunciation is Shaylusa.
Chainsaw. That's her
Okay.
name.
Chainsaw, that's her name, Chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
And because I'm scared of people with chainsaw, I'll give them whatever they want.
Give that leather guy face whatever he's after, right?
Pretty much, yeah. You do know that with that role, you do know that it is said that her followers, when they go to intimidate people, they are known to be larger than the person they're intimidating. It's either they're always really big people, or she, based on what that guy just added, maybe she is giving them some sort of a blessing that makes them appear to both larger and more intimidating to those when they are looking to basically intimidate others. She's an goddess of intimidation that works from the shadows.
Yeah, got it. Okay. And then I'll ask him where is this temple?
I don't actually know the location of the temple. I just have heard rumors of it existing, and I know that they are the followers of Shaylusa. I apologize I couldn't help you more, although I would recommend avoiding them unless that is something you're looking to do with your life. I don't wish to judge.
Not necessarily, but we may have some friends in common. Do you know anyone who might know more about where it's located?
I do not at the moment, but if you gave me time, I'm sure I could help you find out more information. I'll tell you
I would
what.
be most grateful.
My home is in the West District, and he gives you basic directions to where his home is, and explains if you were to go there and engage my servants and wait, I would be willing to meet with you at that time to give you more information on what you're looking for after I've had a chance to research it. I can't help you right now. very focused on this whole red mist from hell thing.
Of course, of course. I'm most grateful for the information you've given to me.
And also, you'll notice, I'll give you this. You came up and you spoke to him discreetly in like a hushed tone. I'm trying to talk to him quietly. His voice, it's not like he was shouting it to everyone else, but he didn't necessarily choose to use a hushed tone either.
Yeah, I get that. Did he say anything about the lady in her shop? Did he recognize that at all or no?
Oh, did you tell him about that too? Okay.
Yeah, I asked him about that too.
That sounds intriguing. I have theories, but I couldn't tell you for sure. And I don't like to make statements until I know.
That's fair. Well, I'm most appreciative of the information you've given me.
Anybody else want to do anything before we move to say you recovered the tiny sword?
Yeah. Who's gonna use the sword?
That's up to y'all.
I think Tarek wants Erda to have it very, very much, but probably because he also has the skill for it. I do not have any sword handling skills.
I don't think I'm actually super effective with a one-handed tiny sword as much as a two-handed big sword.
Okay.
But I know how to use a sword. I might be actually Esri might know how to use a sword.
Yeah, Esri, you can use.
Esri might be actually a great person to have this sword. Esri, do you have
It's a tiny sword perfect for backstabbing a foe. She should have it.
Do you have proper training in
Not that
melee
they're trying
weaponry?
to say anything.
Esri, I assume that you have proper training in melee weaponry.
Yes, I do. I'm trained in all combat weapons.
Good. Perhaps it is best that this stay with you then.
Very well.
I'll draw the blade from Johan's side and hand it over respectfully.
Does it have a sheath? Does it come with
My people teach their children from the time that they are very young how to wield weapons of every kind.
Interesting. I was one of only 3 chosen to participate in the guard at the temple I grew up in. I originally was not allowed to become a magician.
My people are all soldiers. That is the way.
My people are all scholars.
I grew up in the mountains and raised goats.
I just want to be part of the conversation.
I'm cool too, guys. I got a goat. Remember?
My
He's
goat?
real cool.
He's really
Yes,
great.
You do interesting things with rock.
And I come from the deep underground.
Oh yeah, I can also meld into the earth. That's a thing I can do too.
I'm a mushroom.
Yeah, Rudel, my goat. We'll get back to him eventually. He's waiting in the wings for us. One good whistle and he'll come running and we'll all be like, it'll be the worst part of our darkest moment. All will be lost and suddenly Rudel punches down the door and tramples the guy and we'll all jump on him and ride to victory or ride to escape.
And it doesn't matter how many school children that rule tramples.
Yeah.
It's our mission that needs to succeed
Brutal.
over the future of the kingdom.
So I'm gathering from all of this that y'all hand the sword to Esri.
That's correct.
Okay, moving forward.
Back to the room
Right, if
with
there's
the
nothing
runes.
else, or we can fast forward to y'all getting back down there.
Yeah.
All right. Esri,
Yes.
Ellis looks to you and says, "You will want to take that blade," and he'll ask if he can see it for a moment to inspect it, and just basically to make sure it's something that will work.
Yeah, she'll give it to him.
All right. He actually won't take it from your hand so much as just look at it to make
that's
sure
fine.
it is what he thinks it is.
She'll hold it out and let him take a look.
All right. There'll be a moment where you might, anyone who wants to, if you look on your character sheet and you feel like your character would know, He does look impressed by the craft of this weapon. It is not silver, which I think all of you already know that. It is true silver. It is something else. It's mithril. It's a much more rare element than silver.
Yeah.
But he does not in any way seem disapproving. He's nods in very much in approval. Very well. Take this fine blade, and you'll need to. And he gives you directions to slice through the runes that are made, because defacing. And he'll explain at length, which might get a little lectury, like a little college professory. might bore some of y'all, depending on your own interpretations of how you see your character taking that. I believe that Erdo will be like rapt with attention as he explains the difference between just defacing a rune and these particular types of runes, which must be defaced in a way that will also break the magic that made them. Because if you just deface the rune, blah blah blah, it won't work.
Right. Yeah. She'll pay.
If you do it,
She'll pay careful attention and take note of everything he says.
All right. And under his instruction, I imagine you will break the runes.
Yes.
All right. Remembering offhand, without even looking, that Tarek's character is quite intelligent, he will know offhand there is more than one rune, and y'all will look and see the other one across on the other side of the cell that y'all are in, and break the second rune. And once that's done, he will gladly lead y'all through the dungeon, breaking runes. There are a couple of encounters that we might want to roll for. As y'all are doing this.
What is the roll?
I'm gonna roll it.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
worry, no worries. I got this.
All right.
We're good. I'm gonna make, for no reason, Tom, you must roll to see what kills you next. You're
Fair.
gonna want to roll at least a 6 to survive. Go for it.
All right, which
you have a
which
1d4.
hold on, which skill?
I'm playing. You don't have to roll.
All right.
Just being a jerk.
Yes. No, that too. I was trying to say I was being fun and impish, but
By
could be a
threatening
jerk.
his character's life. Yeah, that's fun.
it was fun to me.
Oh yeah. Classic Howard.
Okay. All right. So, Erda's gone for a moment, and based on that roll, what you're going to see, and I'll just go ahead and describe it because it's not something that's going to be a game-breaking. Oh my God, everybody's going to die encounter, even though Erda's not here. As you travel through, you do hear banging, and if you choose to investigate, which Kyle Ellis will actually be like, well, we should at least see what's going on. If you refuse it, that's fine. If you're not going to refuse it, let me know right now. I can describe the rest of the scene. I hate to force you into stuff, No refusals?
I
No.
look at the others and I'm like, you probably already know what this banging is gonna be. It's either the maids or the chef on the door.
Based on where you are, it's the maids automatically.
Yeah.
Because you're coming out of that room and you're going through the map, and the next thing you're going to see is it's the
So
maids.
there are two maids locked in the scullery, I guess it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know offhand what a scullery actually is, but they were the ones that were doing the washing.
Yeah.
So we'll call it the washroom.
Sure. You would
I think those are called
Laundry
scullery maids.
I can pretend to know everything, but the truth is they're in the washroom. Just like I admitted earlier to not actually knowing what dulcet meant until we looked it up.
We're gonna look up scullery now.
I'm looking it up, honestly. It's a small kitchen, a room with the back of the house for washing dishes or other dirty household work. So it's similar, but it's not dishes. It's
They're washing
laundry.
clothes.
Laundry.
So
Yeah,
it'd be like the laundry room, basically.
yeah, they're in the laundry room. That's what it is. So these aren't scullery maids; they're laundry maids.
Sure. So-
But yeah, you get over there, and you basically they're trying their best to like tear out the bars because there is a locked door. And if you'll remember way back, if you feel like your character wouldn't remember, it's fine. You feel like you would go with it. They are actually from an actual prison, and they are offered a chance to spend the day just washing clothes in the asylum rather than spending the day in the prison. And they come over and they do that each day. But these particular maids never left because everything went wonk.
Okay.
Right.
Have they like proceeded
Being
down their
possessed and whatnot.
have they proceeded down their demony, like, are they more
Oh yeah,
demony
no,
now?
they're huge and bulbous and not normal in any way, shape, or form. These maids are 7 feet tall and 4 feet wide. So, lots of loving if that's your thing.
But what I'm
But-
asking is, they haven't changed or evolved since the last time we saw them in their.
No, they look about the same.
They're also really wiggly on the inside because they have giant demon worms swimming around in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, if that's your thing, that could totally be
You
fun.
guys
I don't know.
Still smell
I
like
don't
vomit,
judge.
by the way.
Not judging.
Just saying, you need
Worms
to.
crawling, the worms crawl out.
We need to wash you in the baptism waters there, so get that goo off you that you threw up. Y'all literally threw up on each other, and thought it was funny, and it's gross. We all have to deal with
Oh,
it.
lovely.
Hey, he pointed out earlier, and nobody bothered to worry about that, so I wasn't going to worry about it because y'all been through a lot, and also Carlos doesn't know for exactly what happened to you. That could be from a monster you were fighting. He wasn't going to argue. You'll be like, "Oh, great."
We'll clean up once we clean up over here.
Okay.
There are bigger problems right
Well,
now.
I don't know. On the other hand, it is a washroom.
Well,
There's that.
I mean, we have the detergent available here.
there are the two demon maids. What do we want to do about them? I think we should.
They are definitely wielding tide sticks and ready to do battle.
They're gonna eat us. They're gonna force us to eat Tide Pods.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the sword and have it ready just in case.
I
They
think
clearly have not been able to break down the bars. They are trapped.
we
I rolled. I wanted them to break down the bars, but the dice said no.
Cal, I think we
The
should
dice.
dispel this evil mist before we start helping
The
these
dice
people.
gods like us.
I think we did dispel the mist, didn't we?
No, did we?
All right, you have broken down some of the runes.
Oh, we need to find more
Um,
of them.
Yeah, they're basically he's leading you through there. Look for the rest of the runes to break it all down. But yeah, there is. I should describe that. My bad. As the runes are broken, the mist does begin to thin. So where you're coming from looks clear, but where you're going does not.
So what do we do about these demon maids then? There might be a rune in the washroom because what's his name? The demon could teleport.
I don't see the demon, but as for those that are infected, if they were properly restrained, it is possible to draw a circle around them and cast a ritual that might drive the demonic taint out.
Oh, we destroyed the
Form of
demon,
exorcism.
right? I look at Erda and it's like we sent it back to Demon World. Edric did.
It began to flee once we.
No, Erdrick sent it back to Demon World.
I think he's right. I seem to remember that.
We fought
Let,
it.
us- let me put it this way. I do not believe that this is the last that Valrukar will be able to affect things, but he is no longer in this corporeal realm.
That's
Well,
a
that's
really
something at
weird
least.
way to say that we defeated him.
Yeah, not exactly reassuring.
We exercised him.
It's like we've defeated Skeletor. Oh, I have a feeling he'll be back.
I'll get you next time, He-Man. Next time.
Eat the pizza, He-Man. Eat it. Oh!
What in the world?
It came from a live stream where this guy was playing Skeletor or playing his like build a character, modeled to look like Skeletor, and he had a pizza shield. He threw it to another player that had a He-Man character, and he meant for the shield to hit the He-Man, but the guy ducked and missed.
There's an animated version that's just really great. Just look up Skeletor pizza on YouTube. You'll find it. It's hilarious.
I was basically quoting Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget, but doing it as Skeletor.
Yes.
Which is the end of every episode of Inspector Gadget. Next time, Gadget.
Next time, Gadget.
I do remember that now that you mentioned it.
Good job, Corey.
Thank you.
Yeah, that cat was awesome. All right, so they can't get out. He explains to you there is a ritual that could give them a proper exorcising that removes the taint and might save them. Do you all want to go do that? Because he looks like he's looking for the runes to remove the mist first.
That's probably the more important thing to do.
I want to get rid of this mist first, and then we can help people so they don't get reinfected or
right.
Yeah, I think that's the best plan.
Smarter plan.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right. Knock out the source, and then we can try to help the people.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna. If there's nothing else, I don't want to interrupt any role play, but if there is nothing else, I'm gonna fast forward a little.
Can I do a search roll to help find the runes?
Absolutely. Yeah, that would actually help.
No.
Could make a difference in some stuff I wanted to screw y'all with later.
18.
Oh man, stop screwing stuff I want to do to you later.
Shiggity, shiggity,
You're a bad
yow.
man, Howard.
It's my job.
To screw us
His
over?
Cool stuff
his
to
job
mess with you guys
description
to make the
literally
story
is
happen.
the bad guy.
I mean, yeah, basically. I am the adversary that makes the story interesting. But you are a excellent researcher with your abilities. You look around, you've seen the runes, and you start studying as you're looking about, and you see a couple runes that you and Kyle Ellis both notice like about the same time. He's clearly knows what he's looking
and he
for.
also has the staff.
And he gives Ezra the directions. But there is one point. Do you remember there was a room that was the exercise room?
It was near the bottom.
It was just a room that was like a pit of sand.
Yeah, it was actually pretty close to the washroom where the people were. It was like in the same southern area of the map. Yeah.
Kind of up around. Yeah, okay. Anyway. So you get to that room and he's unlocking it so y'all can go in there. I'm assuming that somebody's unlocking it. He's saying unlock it because I don't know who has keys anymore. It's been a while. I think it's Ezri has all the keys and the weapon.
Yes.
Ezri has
I do.
everything.
She's basically
Ezri
our
has all
Laura
the
Croft
stuff.
here.
She is the key player.
I will go ahead and pull out the keys and open the door with my sword ready.
All right, you said she was Laura Croft. All right, so Ezri has the keys. She has the sword. She has 2 guns and a very pointy bra. Because that's all you need to wear while going
and a
like,
butt that hits the camera every time you do anything.
Right.
Oh God, that was so annoying.
Gotta love old Tomb Raider games, man.
But hey, mad respect for the girl that does all that spelunking in a sports bra.
That's true. Yeah.
And nothing else.
Why am I wearing jungle?
All right. So she's unlocking it and he points, and you see at the same time he does. Actually, you see it slightly before him because of your role. He points to a rune and you see it as he's, just before he starts pointing it out. And you glance to the side and he knows there's a second rune in that room that looks completely different from the first. And I will let you make a scholar check to guess the meaning of the rune because it's Elysian, but it's not. It's like an ancient language. That's not something you necessarily are familiar with reading all the time.
Yeah.
Just like if I'm trying to read Shakespeare and pretend like I know all the words.
Good point. He also is famous for making up a lot of fucking words just out of the blue, so wouldn't blame you.
Yeah. Damn.
all right,
What's
scholar.
this word?
Did he really?
Spot?
That's
That's not right.
jackass.
Yeah.
That's why
No,
high
he
school is
he is
hard.
he is known for creating something like 200 or 300 words that we use nowadays in modern parlance, but back then were completely just nonsense words that meant nothing that he just created.
What a
Yeah,
dick.
Shakespeare is like he did some weird shit, and some of them were just specifically so that he could write in iambic pentameter, so that he wouldn't have to use too many syllables. So he would just create new words that had less syllables.
You know, like rap songs do.
Kind of, yeah, almost
You know,
almost exactly.
I
like
wonder
that.
if there were like scholars back in the day that were listening to Shakespeare going, well, this is bullcrap. These aren't even words.
Right?
Right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was
Made
like
that up.
no, it was
In
lowbrow.
my day,
Oh,
we
yeah.
used real words in theater. You kids and your bullcrap.
That's awesome. I could just imagine a
Meanwhile,
bunch of
400
nerdy
years
guys
from now,
going
they'll
to
be they'll be teaching rap lyrics in school as great literature.
yeah.
I shall mark down on this day that there will be a new word called scrumpalicious. And soon enough, in a few centuries, people will use that word
Shakespeare.
unironically.
Look,
And I will hate myself for it through all time.
look. Shakespeare isn't theater. It's an amusement park ride. That's
I think there's a
Martin
little too much
Scorsese,
truth in that
that's
statement.
That's what Martin Scorsese says about superhero movies.
I didn't catch your reference. Sorry, man. I was lost. But now that I
I
know what
was
you're
too for
talking
a second. I
about,
was like, I kind of agree because of the theater setup, but where are you going with this?
yeah, I was like, yeah, I get the point, but I don't get the point.
Actually, people snobs thought that Shakespeare was lowbrow when he came out. He was he
super
was theater
lowbrow.
for the masses
It
and
was-
not
yeah, exactly.
true
Product
art.
for the
Yeah.
masses,
Well,
yeah.
the Globe Theater brought that because that was where they had the ability to seat general standing room at that point, where they normally wouldn't. You'd have to pay a shit ton of money to get into the theater. But now you could
The
use standing
Eminem
room.
of his times.
Yeah, he was legit. Even though I hate Shakespeare for having, just because I had to read so many of his fucking sonnets in my British literature and existentialism class.
Yeah.
All right, so did you make your? It doesn't look like you made your roll yet. You didn't, right? Your scholar
No,
roll?
no, I didn't. A scholar? Yeah. Blood out.
Hey, there it is. All right, so you spotted the rune, and then you with that roll, that
Force it to
extra
explode.
roll- Hmm?
I was jokingly saying, and then you forced it to explode.
Oh, because exploding's a thing in the die rolls, you can see where I'm confused. But no. So with that, you look at the rune, and then you realize this is a slightly different type of rune than the ones you've been looking at. It is an Elysian, but you're able to tell that it is not just a bridge between this world and the hell realm that you have seen in the previous ones. This extra rune you've noticed that is written lower and on a sidewall is actually a summoning rune that is pulling forth a specific creature. Your best guess is that creature is. I'll let you decide how you want to describe it, but in the rune, the creature looks kind of like the number 5, the letter S, but it's in the middle of the rune and it's being summoned. That's what the thing says, and you're not sure what the creature is because you don't know what it is. You have no reason to.
I just look at this rune and go, there's something wrong here. It does not meet the same pattern as the others. There's a strange symbol here. Do any of you recognize this symbol? This creature, it looks like
Ezra,
I'm not even
as he's
sure
saying that, do you stop unlocking the door?
Yes, I'll take a look at what he's saying.
Okay.
I look at it and I say, it's a skink.
I don't know that those are shaped this way.
What? Skinks are like they're like lizards. They kind of walk in an S kind of.
Why would someone want to summon a skink?
I don't know. Are there skink demons?
Gink demon.
Maybe
I
it's a
don't think so. I don't know that that is a thing that would be summoned necessarily.
I will look at our elf friend and ask him, do you have any idea about this?
He looks where y'all are pointing and looking, and he will regard it with a intelligence roll or scholar check because he can.
Can I also roll a scholar check?
Sure. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to roll that. I meant to do something else.
Ooh.
Oh,
nice.
damn! You're smarter than me, bro.
Man, girl. There we go.
What does the 24 get me?
Hey, you beat me. Wow, I rolled absolute crap. Look at that.
Ooh. Well, you still got an 11.
Okay, so losing the 6. So
He's like, I don't know.
I rolled. Yeah, he looks at it and he's like, I believe that is the rune that summons some sort of a, I want to say it's an elemental water spirit for the wavy. Not sure.
I just
what
imagine
this
him
rune
going.
means. Whereas you look at that and you're aware as you study it, you don't know the language, but it occurs to you that that is not, your first thought is not elemental. You think the wavy shape of it might be an indicator of a more worm-like creature, like something that burrows in the earth as you're looking at a room full of sand.
Would that be like the kind of worms that were inside of us?
Based on the rune, you would guess it to be big, but you're not entirely sure.
Like a skink.
It only shows a picture of one worm or one, wavy creature that burrows.
That's all I get for 24.
Based on a language you don't know. Yes.
Okay. Well, I will say that I think that it might have something to do more with worms than an elemental.
He didn't make the roll, but what you're saying isn't wrong. So he will just nod and say, that is also a possibility. I do not know the answer.
Well, I assume that regardless of what is intended to be summoned by this, we should likely attempt to discorporate it.
Agreed.
I'm sad that
here's
nobody
the
liked
issue.
my pun joke.
Nobody liked your
I
what?
must have missed it.
My pun joke that I put in the chat.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, I'm
I didn't
not-
see
Like
it.
chat.
it's in the roll log. on
Yes, I
Roll20.
see it now.
Oh, boo.
Oh. God. Man, Tarek.
Sorry. I had to.
I'll be honest, that was not an intended pun that I put out there with a rune and a 5, but well done, sir. Well done.
Tarek, sometimes the memories bring back you. Do 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 do.
That made it worse.
That's all.
You
Corey.
guys. You
Sorry.
guys.
All right. So if y'all would like, we could go to the combat screen.
Oh, sure.
All right, let me
No,
put up
the
the
Roll20
the
screen.
main map for everything.
Yeah, let's do that.
Where is my mini?
Hey,
I gotta
actually
drag
ever make
my
a
mini on
character
here.
for Ellis? I don't think I did.
There I am.
I didn't. Oh, I'm a bad game master. I never made a character for Ellis, and I don't know why. I totally knew I was going to use him.
Yeah, well, stuff happens.
All right, so go ahead and grab your characters and pull them into this room here, if y'all can see it.
Can you shift click it?
You're actually here.
Can you shift click it?
Yeah, you're actually here before the gate.
Shift click. I need
Shift click it.
shift. Hold shift and click. There we go. Now I can see it. Okay.
All right, cool.
Oh yes, this room, which we've never been in before. Remember to search every room of a dungeon.
Nope, no one's ever gone in there.
Dude with the light is coming with us, right? I hope.
No.
Call
He's
Ellis,
chilling in the back.
and he's standing with the group.
You're in the
so-
front though, because you're unlocking.
Oh
the
yeah,
door.
that's true. I am. You are correct.
Yeah, thief in front to check for traps.
Whatever gets us, it'll happen to me first.
That's right.
That's why you use a Tom on a stick.
That's why thieves have a very low hit point count.
So I have like
Messed up.
anything in
And
my
then if anything
repertoire.
bad happens and explodes, we have fried mushrooms.
Perfect.
Oh man,
Yum.
that's just wrong.
You get a
Wrong.
nice snack out of it.
I mean, it sounds
That works.
delicious, but still wrong.
Like I'll be known in the group as the emergency food supply.
Emergency
Right?
rapid ration. Let's just hope we never get stuck on a secluded island or something.
Right?
Like that one island
You have this guy with you?
Poor
that one
Tom, I
island
knew him well.
above Howard's head.
So the guy I just put with you, I realize it's a Crimson Order guard, but he is wearing white, some white, and we'll just pretend he has a staff. Go
What are you
with it.
talking about?
Oh, I thought the dude with the top hat was him.
Yeah, this guy right here is him at the top.
Where?
You already got him on the map. He's got a big aura around him.
Oh yeah,
That's why I was asking
Totally
if he was
forgot about
coming
that.
with us because you hadn't moved him.
because I forgot I ever made a character for him. Yeah, that works. That looks even less like my image of him in my head, but sure, why not? Whatever. I am really lazy about making good images for him because I just keep forgetting about him. All right, so that's
That's all right.
him.
We like him looking like a
And
cowboy.
it's actually good that he has his aura up because it tells us exactly where his staff is doing stuff. All right, so you're here opening it. The rune he wants to get rid of is here.
Mm.
The rune that you found that had the monster is here.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see both of that? All right,
Yes.
great. All right. So, and you're about to open the door. What are the rest of y'all doing?
Theorizing what that symbol could mean and being prepared in case something is going to jump out of the sand.
I fully expect something to jump out and hurt us, attack us at any moment. That's why I
don't know-
have the
That's
I don't
sword
know what
how
drawn.
you should always live your life.
I can't speak for Talm or Whitey.
I'll probably prepare another Mycean pod for
Okay.
binding.
Go ahead and roll that.
Sword
Roll a
is
special
drawn
roll
and
for your
ready.
pods.
Oh,
Wow, that's a very good roll.
sorry, hiccups got me.
All right. So what y'all do is he's going to give you a moment. I want y'all to discuss your plan, what you're going to do when you open that door. In the meantime, I'm going to go pee real quick. So you have a moment to think it out.
Okay.
We're great planners, guys. Like, I have no plan. I'm just gonna see what happens, and
Yeah.
I'll support you the best I can. Pardon me.
I'm
Okay.
just glad that I have the Virgin
That's
Keeper
reassuring.
magic. Dang it.
Maybe you want to make a bunch of shadow clones to do things for you or something. I don't know.
Saren Shadow no Jutsu.
Yeah,
Your
exactly. You
hiccups
just
are
need to use your
adorable.
shadow clone jutsu. And you'll be great.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, if you want to get rid of hiccups, take a bottle of water or a cup with water in it and keep drinking for 7 seconds straight. Breathe out all the way before you start drinking. Drink for 7 seconds straight.
That's not how you get rid of hiccups, dude.
That is exactly how you
If
get rid of
you
it.
want to get rid of
Trust me.
hiccups, take a straw, cut in half, put one up your nose, and then the other one in the opposite ear. Then clap 3 times.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. You can't stop.
And
You have to
say-
keep drinking it for 7 seconds straight.
I guess you're not buying this, huh?
It literally
No,
doing
not
what you're
buying
doing
at all.
will force your diaphragm to reset, and that's what causes hiccups. Is your diaphragm is wobbling. It's like in a state of spasm.
That's not true. You're just making stuff up, man. We don't even have
am.
diaphragms.
That was actually bullshit. Did it work?
Yeah, it did.
Well, looks like I
Actually,
can pull shit out
I
of my ass
remember
and
reading papers about how it is your diaphragm spasming.
it is. Yeah, I'm 100% being honest. That's
Dude,
not
humans
a
don't even
joke
have
or a lie.
diaphragms. That's only something opossums have.
Yeah. Isn't that what you're supposed to use to not get pregnant?
Goofball.
Man, I should have said that. That's way better.
It's a great contraceptive. Just squeeze your diaphragm. All will be fine afterwards. Who popped the baby? She popped the baby.
So yeah. So the plan is y'all are just gonna go in there, mess with the thing, and I'm gonna back you up, or do you actually have a plan? Nobody has a plan. We're just
We don't
Well,
have a
my plan
no.
is to subjugate whatever like jumps out.
all right. Since we're just winging it, I'd like to say on the Inspector Gadget thing that if you ever watch the intro to Inspector Gadget, at the end, Inspector Gadget arrests Dr. Claw by putting handcuffs on him, and the chair turns around and there's a bomb there. When I was a very young child, I thought that Dr. Claw was just the hand. I thought, and then the bomb was there so the hand could get away, even though he was...
like thing.
Yeah, like Thing. That's exactly what I thought it was. I didn't
You
think
thought
that was
Dr.
like...
Claw was thing.
It didn't occur to me until I
Thing
was
with a
much
glove.
older that Dr. Claw was an actual real person and not just a hand at a chair. I mean, his name is Dr. Claw, right? So wouldn't you see how my childlike brain thought that Dr. Claw was just the hand?
I get the
We get the
confusion.
idea.
So okay, you remember the Dunkaroos, like snack where you would have like cake frosting with the graham crackers.
Yeah.
So because they had a mascot, that was a kangaroo. I mistakenly called them Kunkaroos.
That's cute.
Oh my god, my classmates had a field day making fun of me, and I'm just like, oh, and I didn't realize it at the time. But
Okay, here's a question, Howard.
Whoa.
Just so you know, we did not come up with any plan. We're just winging it by the seat of our pants. But my question is, they actually had a decent idea that I hadn't thought about. Can I make a shadow clone of myself that looks like me? Since I'm all black, would you be able to tell the difference?
I like how you're thinking, and yes, absolutely. That's something you need to understand about this game in general. Is the difference between this and Dungeons and Dragons is every like magic missile is magic missile. It's the exact same. Whereas in D6 or also L5R, since most of our players love L5R, you can describe what you're trying to do with what you're doing with the skills that you have and make it do what you want. So absolutely, you have the ability to create shadows and shape them. And since you yourself look pretty shadowy and don't give off light, I see no reason why you couldn't shape a shadow to look like you.
Okay. Then I want to use my shadow magic to try to make a clone and put it in front of me when I open the door, so that if anything attacks, it'll attack the clone before it gets to me.
Cool. And just so you
Decoy.
know, should you roll a 1, because that's always a possibility
Mhm.
on your wild die, you will get a special point towards learning more about your shadow magic. And then on top of that, if you like to later do this, you can specialize in your shadow magic to do exactly this, and you can call it, shadow clone as the subset or specialization skill of the regular skill, and just
Ooh,
learn to make
nice.
copies of yourself going to do stuff.
We're gonna
So
have
I
to
can
just
do a
had a
Loki.
Like I also just had a thought too. Like imagine Sarah getting a failing role, and then she has to contend with like a split personality, trying to take over anytime she tries to use the shadow clone.
The upside here for you guys, at least, is that there is no such thing as critical fails, in that something awful like that would happen. If that's something you want to role play, I might give you a character point for it at the end of each storyline for great role play.
She's not
But,
gonna.
no, that's
she's
not
not
a
gonna
thing that
turn
I would
into
enforce
Skittle
on-
Ravens.
Hmm? What?
Okay, so
She's not
Corey?
gonna turn into Skittle Ravens from Teen Titans.
We're
Raven-
because she had all the different colors.
Yeah,
and
and each color was like a different facet of her personality.
All right, I just never heard the term Skittle Ravens before just now.
oh, hang on. It says that I can't use my power in places without shadows. Does that mean I can't use it if he's got the light on us?
Let me double
Can I
check your
use
character
this?
sheet real quick. Should be a thing I can do. Here it is. Isri. And character sheet. There it is. Disadvantages. Charm persuasion limitation in bright light. I do see a limitation in bright light. It doesn't mean that you can't use it. Is
It
that what
just
you're
means
talking
I have
about?
less dice.
No, it just means I give you I make your
Higher difficulty.
difficulty slightly higher.
Okay. Okay, so do I just make an extra normal roll then?
Yeah, you make your extra normal roll. You can take a range penalty and put it outside the light, or you can which, remember, the penalty is something that I'm going to keep in my head. You don't have to change your dice or anything. Or you can make it here and have it walk wherever you want from you forward, and you'll have the light penalty, or you can take the range penalty, which really is, up to you to decide which is worse. Let's see, you got a 1 on your wild die? Oh, that sucks. Oh wait, no, that's a what? Oh,
Yeah, that's the one on the wild eye.
yeah, it is. But it gave you a 9, which is making me wonder why it did that. It should have given you a 5.
Oh, it doesn't subtract. It doesn't automatically subtract anything.
Oh, it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shouldn't that be a 7 then?
Or I'm sorry, it should be a 4. How
Yeah.
do you get a 7?
You rolled a 4. That's what you rolled.
I see 2 plus 1 plus 1.
Oh, so it's the first one that gets subtracted?
It's
No,
the
it's the-
highest number that gets
The
subtracted.
highest die, yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. So that totally fails then.
But
Yep.
you get
On
one.
the upside, that thing I said about you getting slightly smarter about your magic stuff, that just happened. So once you do that
Yes.
enough times, you get an extra free die in your magic stuff.
How many times do I have to fail at it before that happens?
It depends on your current roll. I have to look at your current dice.
Because I think I already had one fail on that well, not on that specific thing, but just on my shadow magic in general.
Well, there's a chart at the bottom on your character sheet that shows under mana you have 1 for your night terror skill, 2 on your shadow cloak, 2 on your solidify shadow.
Yeah, it
I'm
won't
gonna
raise
say
your.
This sounds like a specialization of solidify shadow, so you'd have 3 there now. So I'm putting that
Where's
in.
that at?
Underneath. All right, you go to your character sheet, scroll down to where it says other information at the very bottom, and there's like a list of it says critical fails at the top of the list. And as you scroll down to
okay.
the list, I kept a running track in the past. It looks like of your fails.
Okay, good.
And
because
these are
I
all
haven't
the
been doing
times
that.
you
I didn't.
failed. And Sarah, as your ex-boyfriend, I like to say I keep careful track of your failures.
Okay, fair enough.
Look
All
at
right,
all
so
these failures here.
I have solidify shadow would be ×4 now.
It was ×3 now. It was ×2. I just upped it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And so what you do is with that is we look at your current level of mana, which is also called extra normal. It says it's 3, which means that your solidify shadow actually would just now go up to 4. So you now have a new skill. Look at that. That just happened.
Ah, neat.
So you want to play it in, or you want to do it?
You can do it.
All right, cool. I'll give you a new skill right now. Bam. All right, cool. It's
Nice.
there now.
So it stays at 3.
No,
four.
it should be
Okay,
at 4.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm also going to remove it
That's what I thought.
from the list down there so we don't keep adding to it unfairly.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And there you go. You were going to solidify that into a clone of yourself, and there you go. If you want also, when it's time to spend XP, you can buy a specialization of solidified shadow in, like, you can call it whatever you want, self clone, whatever, shadow clone. Shadow clone
Rasengan.
sounds better.
Yeah, sounds good. I can pull a Loki.
You can totally pull a Loki because your shadows look like you due to your interesting own personal racial nature. All right, so what everybody else sees, so that we're all on the same page, she went to unlock the gate, stopped. While y'all discussed what to do next, she began saying something, and for those that understand Elven, hear her particular brand of Elven, her dialect, she is casting a spell. You're pretty sure of that, and she is ordering the shadows to come to her and copy her and go forth. And you see the shadows slide across the ground, but then you see nothing actually happen. And you're not entirely sure what she intended to happen, but it doesn't look like anything actually happened. And now we move forward.
Okay.
What would the rest of you like to do?
Waiting for them to move forward.
Door's still locked. She has to open it.
Yep.
All right. I will go ahead and unlock and open the door. Still have my sword at the ready.
Very well. You unlock the door, swings open freely. You have your sword out, and you may begin marching yourselves out there. I will allow you to. You can each take 2 steps forward before I start calling combat rounds, because there's something in there out of character at the very least. So I'm not going to say anything.
Right. 2 steps forward. Got it.
Only 2 of you going to move? All right, cool.
No, I'm not done. Here we go.
Actually, I'm gonna go right here.
Trap
That's
yourself
fine.
against the wall. Perfect.
Tom, you staying behind?
Nope, moving forward.
Awesome. All right, all of you get there. Corey, for the record, because you can move diagonally and it doesn't cost you anything different, you can be here.
Okay. Pretty sneaky, sis.
Reroll the initiative now.
Yeah, go ahead and roll initiative. Then I'm going to describe the scene. That sounds great.
What skill was initiative again? Acumen?
Acumen.
Just acumen, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no actual skill, just the overall stat of acumen. Which also means that, a critical fail of initiative doesn't give you dice to be better at initiative later.
Man, I swear, every time I roll initiative, I'm always last. Never fails. Even when I'm in the front of the group, I'm still the slowest.
You don't have a very high acumen, and it looks like you have the lowest acumen of the group. You are not as wise as you are smart.
Apparently.
You are a book girl and an exercise girl, and not so much a, pay attention to the world around you girl.
Well, just spend a lot of time practicing with weapons.
Hey, yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'm
you
a
know when
soldier.
those things get within range, they are in danger.
I hear that she grows up with weapons, and that all of the kids learn to use weapons, and that's how they grow up, and it's part of their culture. That's what I heard.
Hmm.
I feel like you're being mocked. All right. At this point, as you all are beginning to walk into the room, the sand feels heavy beneath your feet. Like you've walked on the beach out of character. You know how it feels to just walk across the beach, and it's a little like you're trudging as the sand kind of sticks to your shoes and your feet and all that.
Right.
But this sand is a thicker, heavier feel to it, and it's almost like it's tiring to walk across. Like you would not want to make a journey across a desert of this sand. But as you walk out across it, as you get to this point, all of you feel kind of a boom in the ground beneath you, just like a boom. And you all feel it. You all kind of like hesitate because none of you have death wishes that I'm aware of. And as you try to figure out what that is, you feel another steady boom. What do you all do at this point? I'll allow you to move again.
I cast Tremor Sense.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind, but I want to see what everyone else is doing before I give you your result.
Sure.
Do we get like any kind of a sense of like where this is coming from, or we don't know?
Just underneath. us.
I'm going to say beneath you. If you'd like to actually study it, you can make an acumen check as your turn, and you can guess what direction other than somewhere in the sand.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I'll
that's what
do an acumen
That's what
check.
I'm gonna do.
All right. So you two can roll acumen.
I'm trying
What would
to-
Erda like to do?
Figure out the source.
Well, I'd like to go and disrupt that rune,
Right.
Um,
Would that be?
but I don't know
Would
that
that
I have the equipment to do so effectively.
Okay.
But that's what's on my mind. That's where I'm going to be headed toward. Put it that way.
Would that be
it'd
a
be
search
acumen
check
search
or
if
just
that's what you're
straight
asking.
acumen?
Search
Search.
you can do other than acumen if you have search.
Yeah, I do have search, but I already have the click and drag tugging. Darn it!
The click and drag.
How do I cancel
darn
that?
it.
Hey Corey, how do I cancel the click and drag on the dice roll, or how do I cancel a dice roll?
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Click and drag.
I don't know either.
Yeah, like the 3D dice. Like I have the option to actually click and drag to roll my dice.
Really?
Okay.
I don't have
Esri,
that.
Yeah.
unfortunately, it feels to you like it's coming from everywhere. Like you're not sure, but you think it's directly beneath you.
Okay, that is still a good roll. So, yeah.
Tom,
Yeah.
your best guess would be that here. I hope you're looking at the screen because I'm going to ping it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So.
And Erda, you wanted to go. You wanted to get rid of this rune.
I'm just moving that direction, I guess, this round.
All right. You can move. I will allow you to move because these are. I'm not doing full rounds here. We're not actually in combat
yet.
rounds. I haven't made anybody make initiative yet. Or did I? Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you
all
did.
rolled initiative. We have
Yeah.
initiative.
Oh, I
Yeah,
did.
we did initiative already.
Did you
Yeah,
not
you
write?
totally did.
Did you not
Oh,
write it
no.
You
down?
had us roll acumen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Then in that case, yeah, you can go ahead and make your full thing. But let me also roll his initiative.
His initiative. Uh-oh.
It could be a her. I don't want to lift its lack of legs to know. I don't know how that works.
I thought you were talking about Cal Ellis.
Yeah, I don't want to lift his legs either, to be fair, because I don't want to lift anyone's legs, because that sounds like labor intensive. All right, so
And also
16
kind of
for
gross.
the monster. And then Carlos's initiative is 3 dice at the moment. She's not doing anything special. That's not too great. You suck, Caw. I expected more. Shame on you. Let me look at everybody else's initiatives real quick. Actually, do me a favor and tell me y'all's initiatives real quick. Please.
14.
I had a 4.
She's just trying to make Caw feel better. Erda and Tom.
I had a 14.
Yeah, I had an 11.
All right. Y'all can go by whoever has the higher acumen. If it's a tie there, you can go by the higher.
I have an ability that increases my initiative naturally, so I'm naturally better at initiative. So I think I should go first because it's a racial ability, and I'm naturally just better at, reacting to stuff.
You racist.
And that is my justification for going first.
And I totally would agree with that, except that it probably already gave you a mechanical bonus to your initiative roll, right?
Yeah.
So it's got you up to the point that you're now matching Erda. So at that point, I feel like you should still compare some stats or just ask each other.
Well,
who would like to go
my
first.
He has more stats than me in this thing, so he's still gonna go first.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then there you go. But also, so that you can also just, if you would tie, if one of you is just like, hey, you do your thing first so I can do my thing after that, that'd be fine with me too. But yeah, I'll put White Ape first. You are down there. Cool.
But I'm just saying, like, if your like justification for saying no is it gives you a mechanical benefit, well, my acumen is the thing you roll for initiative anyways, and to get to where he is, I still have to roll acumen. So the same logic applies. Just saying.
Unless his natural acumen is larger than yours, and you're only getting the benefit is the only thing that made you match him.
So but we both have to roll acumen.
Right.
Yeah, but if I have a higher acumen period, then you're even with the bonus, then I would naturally go first because I'm just more naturally gifted.
But we had to roll it. That's the thing that makes our roll the roll that we had.
Right.
Yes,
and
but
after
to
you
break
both
the
match,
tie,
I
we
would
have to
win.
analyze something else to break the tie.
I'm not going to argue anymore. I
mean, there's
I
always
don't
a
get what
tiebreaker.
the hell
Even
you're
in L5R,
saying,
it's
and
honor.
I don't get why what you're saying is different from my what I said earlier. But we'll table this. There's a creature to be killed,
or befriended, or turned into a lovely pet. You could make it like an awesome mount.
Shut up,
that
Game
only works
Master. We know what we're
underground
doing.
and drags you under the ground.
Hey,
and
we
then you
can
die.
be murder hobos if we want to. We can be murder hobos if we want to.
You can be like zoophilia, freaks
You can't
and
stop
mate with
us.
it. I don't care.
I have a pet.
I have a cat.
Okay. Can I make my tremor sense roll now?
Yeah. All right. So, did you already make it, or did you?
No, you told me to hold off.
No, I told you I was gonna tell you the result later, but yeah, you can go ahead and roll it. Go ahead. I just need to know if I need to scroll up to see what the roll is. Well, that's a really good roll.
Nice.
I have a lot of dice in it.
Well then, sir, I will tell you. The creature is. Hang on, let me put this back where it was. Creature is here. And on top of that, you know that it is. It'd be like 2 boxes deeper. So about 6. What would that be? Each box is 2 meters. So it's another 4 meters of ground above it. So it's 6 meters deep.
I say that. I say there's a creature 6 meters deep right over there in the sand.
But however, based on your rolls, Esri, You feel like
Okay.
it's right under you. You are kind of freaking. And I'm not saying you have to change your
Okay.
plan. Just know that you think it's like right up under you. He could be wrong.
All right. Do I still have an action, or I use my action trying to figure out the
I
direction?
think everybody went, so we're gonna go back into order. We'll start with the monster. Yay, the monster goes on 16.
Actually, I
basically
just-
roll because you have tremor sense up. Corey,
Mm-hmm.
you know that it is on the move. You can't really do anything about it, but I'm going to let you know that the creature's on the new move and it is coming towards your general group. So
I
you
want to
can,
be.
like yell, look out or something if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
be-
I will try and give information on its whereabouts, and try to make sure people aren't surprised.
I want to be very honest here. I actually just looked back in the roll history, and I actually rolled an 11 for my initiative, not a 14. So I'm actually after Tom.
Liar.
After
cheater.
Tom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom beats me because he has a 5, and I only have a 3.
Oh, booger. Then I have.
Or a 4, and
my
I have a
list.
3.
Good to know. Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah.
All right, so the monster, Corey, you can if you're gonna yell a warning, you're gonna feel like you need to yell it towards Esri, who already feels like the monster's coming up from under her before it even gets there. She's also in the lead.
Okay.
All right.
I will yell out, Ezra, it's coming up on you.
And even though he's
Very
absolutely
helpful.
correct that it wasn't there before and is now coming up on you, you feel like, because of your failed rolls, that you obviously already do this. His powers are useless.
Yeah, basically. That's not exactly helpful. It's coming for me. From where?
not.
It's coming right for us.
All right, and I'm going to attack you from beneath you. I think that might hit because it beats a 10. Oh wait, no, it does not, because the 1 is in the wrong place, which takes away the 5. 3 and 4 and 1 are not a 10. Basically, you take one step back after you hear his warning, and you're trying to figure out where it is. And as you step back, this thing comes bursting up in front of you, which looks like a dark, just purple mass of flesh that does not look like any worm or any burrowing creature you've ever seen. Just comes up before you, and its head like turns around, and the front of its head is just this opening maw of teeth. And on the sides of its head are like a ring of just these red glowing orbs. And then you guess those might be eyes or some sort of sensory organs. You're not sure. And it kind of scans the area, and then it lowers that head at you like it wants to attack you. But it missed its shot. So after that, White Ape, you saw that happen. What you doing?
Wrap it.
You know
I
what?
leave.
Squeeze it like a pimple.
I don't know how this thing operates. Let's do some experiments. It's an earth-dwelling creature. Let's see if I can use my tremor magic spell to disorient it by just shaking the ground everywhere. So maybe it can't really see. Maybe it senses footfalls and stuff like that. I'm going to like shake everything up. Sound great?
Shake, 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 Sonora. Shake your body line. Shake, 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 Sonora.
It's not gonna be a great-
Describing it, and I was picturing the Beetlejuice worm in my head.
It's not going to be a big
shake
shake.
it all the time.
It's going to be an adequate shake.
Matilda and damn it, what was the other movie that Sarah just mentioned?
Beetlejuice?
So you roll the-
Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice. Yeah, those are both great movies. So
Uh-huh.
that's it.
All right, so you roll a 13 to hit, and you're going to use your. Are you using your elemental powers to grab it and shake it? Is that correct?
You didn't hear anything that I said. I said I'm using
That's
my
fine, that's
tremor
wonderful, I
spell to shake the ground in order to like maybe disorient it, because I don't know. I'm experimenting to see how it views the world being an earth creature. So
Okay.
I'm using
Or
tremor.
it's like I don't listen to you.
Well, I mean, I listened. And I understood. My understanding was that you were using the earth to shake it around and see what happened.
I'm shaking
that
the earth around.
Inaccurate?
Shaking the earth around to see what happens. The sand is going to
Right.
shift everywhere, all sorts of stuff.
Okay. I feel like I'm saying the same thing, but I guess not.
Well, it's in the earth. It's going to shake too, but I'm just, you know.
Okay. So you're going to shake it. And for the record, I guess it's in this because it's right in front of her. All right, so that's a hit. Go ahead and roll your mana damage, and then I will explain the result.
Nine.
Cool. All right, and he can absorb. That's a thing he can do. It says so on his character sheet. Oh, look at him. There's no reason to explode that. So what you see happen is you grab the earth around him and you shake him to see how he observes the earth and what this will do to him. And as you do, it basically, you see him like kind of twist around, but his head is like just remains focused completely on his original target. Like it doesn't quite affect him. Like you didn't grab him hard enough or you didn't disorient him enough. And he seems like he is still intent on murdering your friend.
Right, so he has no weakness to that sort of attack. Great.
Possibly, or the armor of his body totally absorbed it. You don't know.
Well, if he has
Because it's an
armor, if
work.
he has armor against it, then it's not a weakness.
Well, that's like saying if a knight has armor on and I have a sword, then he has no weakness. There's no point in holding a sword.
But yeah, the point of armor is to make up for the weakness against swords.
Right.
Right.
So would you then just throw your sword away?
Well, you'd have to find a way to get around the armor.
Hit harder? Roll better? I don't know.
It's the fact, like, I have a weakness. I made up for the weakness. So it's not a weakness anymore. It's like Tarek wears glasses.
How dare you?
It's like
And
He's
that's
like,
why
I do
he's
not.
gay.
I'd have to find a way to
How
get
did they
rid of his
know?
armor first.
They're watching me.
I don't know. I've lost a complete flow of this conversation. When two warriors go at each other in suits of armor and swords, they don't throw away their swords because the other guys are wearing armor.
Yeah, no, they just flip it around so that they hold it by the blade and then hammer them with the handle.
Think
That's
about
legit
this.
how it works.
Think about this. I'm a guy that has a sword, but I have also a lot of other tools at my disposal. I hit you with my sword, but you're wearing armor and it bonks off the armor. I'm going to try one of my different sort of attacks. Maybe I have an electricity attack. Well, that will work really well against a guy in armor.
Yeah.
All right.
If you're a Pikachu,
you
you're
have
100%
other
right.
ideas on attacks that you want to use, I'm totally good with it. I'm just saying that it doesn't mean that just because your first attack failed, you should completely give up on that. But if you want to and try something better,
He just
that's
didn't
great.
find the hole in the armor.
Exactly. I'm just saying this is not a weakness of his. I'm trying to find his weak point.
He is a creature that lives in the earth, and you shook the earth, and he seems to be fine with it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Just for the record, though, if you do have a sword and you're ever going to go up against an armored knight, just flip the sword around and use the handle and the pommel to just bash the shit out of his head. And who fucking cares that he has armor? He's still going to have a fucking massive concussion.
Exactly. If push
That's
comes
literally
to
how
shove,
they fought in medieval times. They just turn their arm. Like,
if
the
push
sword
comes
isn't going to
to
cut their fingers if their fingers are in gauntlets.
Tarek,
right?
you have this all wrong. If I see a medieval knight and I only have a sword, I'm going to just take my clothes off and seduce him. And
That's
then
also-
he's going to be my bitch.
Yeah, that's the historical way that people would normally do it. You know, just drop a nip out and they're mushing your hands. Yeah.
Check it.
See,
Always works for me.
I am already seduced. So if I were a knight, I'd be doubly so.
There's no armor
I will
against
pull
it.
this up.
Yeah.
There is no armor against
It's
it.
becoming one of those streams.
I have a secret tattoo.
He does. I've seen it.
Shh, it's secret. Anyway,
Keep it safe.
all right. So that was Monster and White Ape. So Tom,
All right. So you know that bundle of joy that I'm holding that's supposed to be using for, or that I should.
Oh, the mushroom
use
baby?
for- Yes, the mushroom baby. I'm gonna toss the mushroom baby right into the throat of that thing if possible.
Throw your baby.
I feel like you should do like a weird copy of Esri, and therefore when she tries to make Shadow Esri, you should make Mushroom Tom Jr.
I was thinking about
like
it. Like
that
maybe
idea.
I should just asexually split myself.
There is actually a species of, I think it's a marsupial, that throws its babies at predators so it can get away.
Actually,
It's a
kangaroos,
quokka.
That is
kangaroos
that is
and
what I'm saying.
Yes,
koalas.
that's the one.
kangaroos and
Yeah.
koakas do it, and
Yes.
same thing with the other one. What is the other one that is it's like a really small marsupial in
Just
I don't
straight up
remember.
worst mom ever.
yeah.
Yes,
They
for
are.
sure.
They
like
do
a
that
bad
too
mom.
for sure.
They come
'Cause they're
the
like-
fact that at least you didn't throw the baby at anyone.
All they think is, well, I can always have another baby, but if I die, not gonna work out so well.
Mhm. No wonder why
Yeah.
kangaroos are so mean. I remember hearing about like where this guy was running a trail and he saw a kangaroo like poking its head out of the water, like it was like at a kind of a shallow pond, but it was like in the middle of the water. He's like, "Why the heck is that kangaroo in there? It's just standing there doing nothing." And he later found out from an animal expert saying that. Kangaroos tend to lure like any animal unwitting enough to like chase them into the water to drown them in the water. It's like, oh, whoa,
Kangaroos
Okay.
are crazy, man, and they're also buff as fuck.
yeah.
They're
All right,
thick
so
animals.
Tom, go ahead and make a coordination check unless you have any skills under coordination that are involving being good at throwing stuff at people.
Do you have
Sleight of
throwing
hand?
babies? Baby throwing skill under coordination.
Baby
You gotta-
toss.
Yeah, it's a specialization. You
So
gotta
sleight of hand.
you gotta specialize in baby throwing.
Sleight of hand if you'd like to tuck the baby into its pocket while it's not looking.
All right,
It'd be
fine.
like,
Coordination
"That's
it
okay."
is.
If you wanted
You're
to
the
reverse
responsible parent.
pickpocket the baby into his pocket, like a grenade in Fallout 3.
That would be hilarious.
Now you're responsible.
Just so you know, in Texas, you might go to jail.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so 16 is good hit. You hit it. Go ahead. Because it is prepared with your mana, you can do your mana damage at this creature. Is the baby exploding? Is that what's going on?
Yes, the purpose of it is like trying to choke it out from the inside.
Oh, you want to grapple it and like, oh, neat. And
Well,
all right, so it grapples it.
like have it expand and choke the monster from the
Go ahead
inside.
and roll your mana damage as this weird little teeny tom begins to spread over it in weird, horrible fungus-like shapes.
Oh, so it didn't. So I didn't shove it inside its mouth or like throw it inside its mouth or anything of the sort. Because
Oh,
that
was
was
that
the
your-
original intention.
Oh, okay. No, you want to put it in the hole of its mouth.
Yes.
All right, cool. No, well, you made the roll. It's fine. Just
Okay.
go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. So that would be
You
like my
choke it out.
Saiyan pod, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making
Well,
sure.
no, it would be your mana damage.
Or
mana
extra normal.
damage. We've gone over this before, but I'll go over it with you again real quick. Hang on.
Okay.
Let me pull up
It's
the
been a
character
while.
so I can look at your mana. It has
Oh,
over a month, I think.
You
since
only
played it,
have
something like that.
extra normal. not hyper normal.
Yeah, it's your extra normal minus a die, so you have a 1 die of damage, unfortunately. However, your roll to make my Saiyan pods is super strong. However, your damage effect is not.
Yeah, it's more.
But you can make them like
I
that.
think you're more focused on making utility rather than damage.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you are.
I have
That's how
family
you build
size
character.
normal.
My bad. Or you're bad.
What did you say?
Ignore that
Damn!
humongous roll.
Damn!
Ignore that humongous roll.
It didn't even register. It was so many dice it didn't even register on the roll.
Yeah, because I was trying to change it from my Saiyan pod to just my
Well, you know what? Because you
mana.
did that, this happens to you.
Oh!
Yeah, take it.
Woo! But it's
Oh,
got
oh,
like some
I got
ones in
one
the
at the
bonus
end,
die.
Yeah, I'm just rolling dice because you rolled dice. You tell me
I
what
didn't mean
really
to
going
roll
on.
that many. Like count to the 3
Yeah,
as
roll
the
your
3.
1 die of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Roll
Yeah,
your
count-
1 die of damage. But
All
what
right.
I will give you this bonus. You specified where it was going, and you rolled a. Let me see real quick.
Okay.
Kind of glance back up on here. All right, you rolled 5 for damage, but you also did specify where it was going, and it looks like you got a. Is it a 16 to hit? Because you did a called shot and you put it in its mouth, it will reduce its ability to use its armor against that. So instead of 2d6, I'll give it 1d6. Because you put it inside of its mouth, and that's a different story. But I also rolled a 5. It's like, and there's this moment where it looks really uncomfortable, and its weird purple head looks like a darker, redder purple. You're not real sure what's that, like a maroonish purple, and then it goes, and that big mushroomy ball just kind of falls out, and Mini Tom
Gross.
lays on the on the ground going.
I imagine it looks like a little
like baby
mandrake.
Groot.
I just imagine a little
It's like
mandrake
baby
root.
Groot.
Yes.
I just imagine a little mandrake root just crying on the ground.
Oh, from Harry Potter, yeah, it's that.
I could just imagine Tom going, "This is not the intended effect I meant for it to do. It's not supposed to be alive like that."
Uh-oh. Gotta get rid of this responsibility quick.
My wife is not going to be happy with this.
Not in Texas.
Waffle stomp that into this sand real quick.
Gotta get rid of this responsibility. Not in
Not
Texas.
in Texas. You're going to be fine. Erda, you're next.
Okay, I charge it. I'm gonna move over here. Actually, you know what? I'm going
You do this
to
square here.
stare really intently at this square. And then bloop.
Oh, okay. Cool. You are directly behind him.
And next to the rune, because I believe that's where you said the rune was.
Let me look. Yep, that is correct. You are behind him and facing the rune. It is actually not looking at you because it is very much concentrated on the stuff in front of you, or in front of it, because
Yeah.
one was Ezra's original target, and the other just put a giant baby in its mouth.
And the other one tried to shake him and not stir him.
And that happened too. He is the perfect. Was it a martini?
Exactly. Yeah. He's got the Bontini going.
Monster Teeny.
All right.
That sounds like a
So
great
are
holiday.
you going to
like-
take that? Are you going to take that moment to after you? Oh, you can't
I
because you
can't.
used
Yeah,
your
it's a full round
to
action.
teleport.
Yep.
All right. Then let me have a look here. After Erda, I see is Ka, then Ezri. So Ka Ellis will. You're in front of the rune. There's a huge monster. He's here threatening her, so he's going to move to one step. Or the one step rule, which allows him to move 2 meters and attack. And he is going to guess that this is a creature from hell based on, pretty good, just assumption here based on
Yeah.
where you are and what's been going on.
Kind of a
And
solid
try and shove
assumption.
the staff in its mouth.
Let's hope this isn't like a sand alligator or a sand crocodile. Just like snaps the staff in half. We're all fucked.
Sand crocodile.
Okay. So he hits. And it's going to do. The staff itself, just putting in something's mouth, wouldn't really do damage, but the light from it will. And it does 3 dice. Okay. And he can absorb. Oh, I said mouth. But he didn't get enough to get the extra. So no, the mouth doesn't make a difference. He needed 15 to get the bonus of him not being a die down to resist, which he did not make. So he gets 2 dice to resist.
Well, it's something. He got scratched.
He got the power of the light just like blows up in the creature's head, and you can see that the creature is like, and there's this weird effect, almost like it's being disintegrated from the inside. But it doesn't look like it did a lot of damage, but it looked like it upset the creature a lot as it rears its head back up and out of Ellis's reach.
Have you ever seen someone put like a really powerful flashlight in their mouth?
Yeah, kind of.
I imagine
there's
that's
that
what
moment where you can see like his veins and stuff inside of its body,
Yeah.
and it looks like gross. And now Esri,
Ooh.
there's a horrible monster within melee range. What would you like to do to it?
I'm gonna try to stab it with the sword.
Hey, that's always got to be a good answer.
Agreed. If you're fighting an onyx,
So what am I rolling for that?
What are rock Pokemon weak against?
Onyx. We're definitely against onyx right now.
Yeah, what rock Pokemon weak against?
Oh, water.
Oh,
All right, so to stab with a sword, you're going to use coordination. If you have melee
Same
combat,
with grass
you
type
can add that.
Pokemon.
Yeah, grass and water. I was gonna say the two that'll get you good.
I should, but I don't.
Whoops. Well, there's something to spend XP on later.
Yeah. I kind of put everything in the magic because I wasn't planning to be fighting with actual weapons.
And then they're like, here, hold this weapon.
Yeah, basically.
On the upside, you hit. Were you using you were
Yay!
using the toothpick, right? The mithril sword?
Yeah,
Is that
she's
correct?
using that.
Yes.
Alright.
Yes, I'm using the mithril sword.
All right, so the base damage on that is 2 dice plus your strength bonus. So let me look at your character real quick, and I'll tell you your strength bonus. It's not just your strength dice. It's actually, I think it's half plus 1. Your physique is 1, so half plus 1. It's 1.
So eight points of damage.
Yeah, you have 3 dice. It's 2 plus your strength, which is 3 dice.
Oh, I thought you were saying just plus the number, not okay. Let me roll 3 dice then.
Oh. So I'm not the only person who has a 1 physique in the party.
I didn't mean to give that away. I apologize. And damn.
It's nice to know though that I'm not alone.
Yeah, but she just messed it up based on its 2 dice of resistance. Real quick, hang on.
What?
That was a good roll on her part.
Oh
And
Jesus, and that was a bad roll on his part.
It was not the best. Right. So he looks less than happy. All right. So he is incapacitated with that
"Ouchie."
roll. Oh wait, no, he was
Ouchie.
already hit. So it's actually one
Yep.
worse. So he is effed. He's effed. That's what it says right here on my notes.
I believe I believe
mortally
that's
wounded.
the
Which means he has to make a roll. You did really well. That was an excellent damage roll. That was insane.
They get the sword to
Yay!
the right
Everybody
person,
clap!
surprisingly.
We're effective.
All that combat training.
Paid off.
No, it's
All
just
right,
dumb
so
luck,
it's 11 plus stamina or metal roll. Let me make my stamina roll because I'm not going to try to resist it with my willpower because my charisma's absolute crap. Here we go. There it is. What is with? I do not know what happened, but I did not know I could take my rolling thing out of this thing. Sorry, I apologize. I don't know what I did, but I made my rolling thing appear somewhere else. But I can read it now, and the creature is. I don't think he's awake because he didn't exceed your roll. So, it falls next to you. So he was here. His head is here because he's actually quite long after he comes out of the ground. And he is not moving.
All right,
Which
good.
brings us to.
We defeated the demonic gooey duck.
That's
All right, 10
about
EXP
it.
for everyone.
Why, Dave? What you want to do?
Erda, you think it's weak against water attacks?
Yeah. Use. Oh, I'm sorry. White ape. Use bubble gun.
Right. I have this chalice of holy water. I pour it on the creature.
Oh, you're playing Pokemon over here, but all right, cool. All right, you pour it's just laying there. So I won't make you roll to hit it.
It's laying there,
You're just gonna pour it
sizzling.
out on it.
Wait, does that make white ape a earth fighting type Pokemon?
No, ground rock type. Definitely
I'm
a
a ground
combination
rock
of ground
type,
rock
but I have
type.
right now I have a CD power that gives me a water attack.
Yeah, your TM.
My TM, yeah.
As no one is stopping him, I'm assuming.
No.
Then the creature is probably just going to straight up die. I don't see a point in you really rolling any dice on this. You're pouring acid on an incapacitated creature. It is just.
Well, not only that, but I'm still going stab, stab, stab as it lays there.
I love, I
be-
love like how much danger we thought we were in, and we just wound up curb stomping this thing to non-existence.
Esri did a lot of the heavy lifting though. Let's point
Esri
that
was
out.
the star here, guys. Let's not
Also,
kid ourselves.
it would be amazing if Corey the whole time, or not Corey, but White Ape the whole time thought that he was carrying holy water around, but it turned out to literally just be hydrochloric acid. Just like pouring hydrochloric acid all over. Holy shit, this holy water is super effective.
Less hydrochloric acid.
I now
We
want to
should call
run
this
some sort of
episode
modern
"Throwing out the
plot.
baby with the bathwater."
In a modern game, I'd really like to run this plot where there's like these like priests talking about their holy water, and it's actually these weird glass containers that are just nothing but acid. That'd be super hilarious. You're just like, demons out! Did you see people
Bless
burning? You're like,
you.
oh my god, they had real demons in them.
She was unholy. That's why she's burning.
Turned out that the priest got lucky and actually hit an actual vampire. It was like, what the hell's wrong with you? This is hydrochloric acid. How do you know how that feels like? Science!
How do you
Actually,
know how that feels like? I'm a vampire. I've been burned before. You think vampires don't know about hydrochloric acid?
Assuming no one stops him, White Ape successfully murders the hell out of this giant, horrible hellworm.
Well, let's just hope.
Okay, I still stab him a few more times for good measure because I just want
Oh,
to be
understood.
sure.
You're sitting there continuing to perforate its skin.
I am attempting to start the process of delambing this rune to make sure that
alright.
it just in case,
For
because
you, just real quick, Tom, did you have anything?
I've got nothing right now. I'm just astounded with how quickly it was taken down. I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'm good.
It was pretty fast.
and
we're so effective.
Make sure with
Or-
Tremor Sense that there's not another one in here, just like...
Yeah, I was gonna say my worry is that this thing is just like auto resummoning them every time one dies,
I will
another one
call
pops
combat
up.
rounds over. First, I'm going to go to Erda. You, because you made the rolls early, you identified the rune and you destroy it. You can destroy it with no problem.
Okay.
As long as you have anything that is silver, true silver, or you use magic to destroy the rune. And I will say that you have enough intelligence at this point on how runes work, enough scholarly knowledge to know that they can't be destroyed just by you taking just like a random iron dagger and dragging it across it.
So I do have my pack with me because I did go grab it from
Right.
the place before coming back here. So I have a component pouch that has a bunch of stuff for magical purposes. So I'm assuming in there's probably, leaves of silver, pure silver, or stuff that I can use basically to.
I would be fine with that. And just so you know, you could also, because you are who you are, as long as magic is used to destroy a rune, because you figured this out scholarly, you could literally just go like this and like make an incision on yourself and create a blood knife and slice it and then put the blood back in your wrist.
Good point. I could do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Why not? It's probably faster and easier for me than rooting around in my bag.
And hurts more.
Here's I'll roll my blood sorcery to start doing exactly that then. Using magic
go
to
ahead.
dispel it. 18.
That's enough. That is absolutely enough to destroy a rune that you're already looking at. No problem.
Nice.
All right. For the record, my fellow here, Ka, is going to walk over here. He will destroy the other rune. He takes the staff and just puts it in there, and he waits, and the staff will slowly burn away with its weird light that emanates from it. Every trace of the demonic rune. Let's see. Did I skip anyone? Y'all can totally kill the hell out of this thing. Oh, Corey. White Ape, you said you were going to do a tremor sense roll. Go ahead and roll it. That is more than enough. All right. With a 19, you do your tremor sense roll, and you totally kill a thing. I might have messed with you later. You are aware that deep beneath the earth, right around here, there's a small patch of eggs.
Okay. I will relay that information, guys. Right here, and I point to the...
We'll just say 8 meters down.
Well, 8 meters down. It's very far down. I think I can reach it with my magic, though. There is a clutch of eggs. I'm going to try and crush it.
Okay.
So I'm
going to let you just go ahead and describe it, because honestly, you can keep crushing with magic until it works.
Mm-hmm.
So you just go ahead and describe what happens, and you can do it.
Okay. So I'm going to put my hands into the earth, and I'm just going to concentrate and continue to chant. And you guys can see the sand kind of shifting here and there. What I am doing is I am creating the sand into sandstone around the clutch, and then I am using that sandstone to crush the eggs. But it takes me a while. Because it's far down there, and I'm just chanting.
We'll guard you.
Apply a bunch of pressure, yeah.
It's like, all right, I deliver the eggs back up to the surface, and I pull out a frying pan and start a fire.
Yeah.
And
We're
eat
about to eat
demon eggs.
good in the neighborhood.
Demon eggs.
Yeah.
They call them deviled eggs, actually.
Oh, well played.
I can taste the mayonnaise in there already.
I don't know where you want. I don't want to know where you found mayonnaise in this asylum.
Right? Well, there is a
Well,
cook in
there's
the
a.
kitchen.
I was going to say
It
there's
was
a very
already in the
angry dwarf
eggs.
that just keeps attacking the.
Exactly.
The bars.
I don't know that we
Well, what
want
he'll do.
that dwarf's mayonnaise though.
I'm just saying, I saw Size of the Lambs a couple times, and it's a messed up story.
It is, yes.
If there's a
There was some
person in a
mayonnaise that
sane,
was flung from an inmate.
if
I'm
you
just
meet
saying.
if you meet a person in a sane asylum that's an inmate and he presents a jar and says, "Would you like some of my mayonnaise?" Say no.
Free tip for anybody watching. That's just straight from us to you. Yeah, good advice, just all around.
Yeah, well, that's what
But if
we're
you
about
appreciate
here.
the tip, please donate to our Patreon.
Exactly. For that tip and many more like them, join our Patreon.
All right.
All right. With that, he has finished what he's doing as Kyle.
How long are we?
We'll continue to lead you through the maze.
How long are we playing, Howard?
I thought it was 3 hours.
3 hours. Okay,
So
we got half an hour left then.
That's what I thought. I noticed you posted something earlier
Okay.
that said that you mentioned to be 2.5 hours. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Okay.
So what's your point?
Okie dokie. So I guess this room is clear. So now the only rooms left that I want to make sure we check is the torture chamber, because that is a hellish place already, and I'm sure that it would be a great place to store some more hell stuff.
Okay, so just so we're clear, we destroyed all the runes, right?
That's a fair question, which I think he was going over just now.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I mean, in the room before we leave it, did we destroy it? Because you said there were 2 different sets of runes, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I took-
yeah. No, Kyle's
Did we
got
get
one,
both of those?
and Erda got the other.
Okay,
we
just
got
making
both.
sure.
Yeah, but as for any others that might be left, I'm assuming there's still a little bit of blood mist. Even if we did dispel it, it has to dissipate, right? So, even if it is still dissipating, I'm gonna at least make sure that there is not more lingering. So, but like I said, Erda will say, I believe we should check the torture room. That kind of a hellish place with such negative energy is a ripe source for spiritual power.
I agree. We should check throughout this whole place.
We need to
There's
make
no
sure we got all the
telling what-
runes.
It might have intended the creature, Valrukar, you said his name was.
Yes, Belrukar. The blasted demon.
Well, they all are generally awful.
Yeah, we are all elfin except for the mushroom man. The mushroom man.
What you need to do, Tom needs to go ahead and just
The
grow
Mycenaean.
ears that are very pointy, and he can join the group.
He can be one of us. One of us.
Sure.
I'm the 5th race of elves. That is mushroomy. That's a thing. Mm.
Yeah, don't
My
be a-
sales.
Exactly.
My sales.
All right, I'm going to fast forward a little and say that you can search the rest of the area. I say that because I made the roll and he never made it through there, and y'all reinforced the. I'm sorry, I don't know what y'all can see what I was pinging. The cook was not able to break his bars, and y'all reinforced the bars in front of the dwarf, so that he would not have been able to even roll. It just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So, because I didn't make the rolls, I can fast forward a little and say that you searched the rest of the area. The only other place that there was a, let's see, shift click.
A rune of power.
Can you see this right now?
Up here? Yeah.
Yes.
What are you talking
Hey,
about?
then maybe shift click worked. Great. This is the only other rune that was there. And once you've disassembled that one, nothing else attacks you. You have defeated the mist. The last of the mist will clear. You have cured the problem. The ultimate problem. You might still want to go back eventually and help the ladies that are, enlarged, as well as the cook. And if
And the
you want,
dwarf.
you can help the lobotomized dwarf that likes to murder everyone. So he's not a giant lobotomized murder dwarf, because those are the worst.
Yeah, I mean there's an order of anger there that is not necessary. You can at least remove that. I agree. So For now, though, we need to make sure that this area is secured and any other soldiers who might have been injured upstairs get treatment.
All right. What I want to go ahead and do now, due to the time and what we need to do just to kind of get ready for the next arc of the game, is just go ahead and talk through some stuff and prepare for what we're going to go next as we continue to play through Vallanthia and where the story will turn next, because you have definitely completely conquered my asylum.
Yay! We did
Ooh.
it, right?
We
Yay.
have conquered the asylum.
You really have. If you want to say that, if any of you are interested in being involved in rituals with Ka Ellis to help do the exorcisms on the laundry ladies or the cook, let me know. If you have other things you'd like to get involved in next, tell me what your characters want to do each, and so that I can take that into account for my next arc of the story. So
here's
we'll
a-
start with let's start with White Ape. Corey,
Here-
what would you like to? Is there anything that you want to pick up on immediately from the existing story, or there your own goals you want to pursue? Tell me what you're going to do next.
Here's an interesting question for you.
Okay.
How are we getting paid for all of this?
I was about to ask the same thing.
All right. So that's a very fair question. During this downtime between this and the next chapter of the game, you can absolutely go in and look for payment. Not every single member that was of the Azure or the Crimson Order is dead. There was a lot of death. However, there are plenty of people that just weren't on duty that day or that shift.
Yeah, Tornheart, what is he okay? He was the
He wasn't on duty. I totally checked it, and he wasn't in the schedule.
Okay.
He
Oh,
just
thank
wasn't
goodness.
there
Also,
that day.
what about the other guards that rampaged? Did they wind up going on the streets too?
Oh no, they're all dead now.
Okay.
Everybody's dead.
So
Yeah, they all got eventually killed. Some of the city guards were involved and did die, but they're all dead now. I worked out a lot of stuff. I did
Okay.
after games. I sit here and I work out things as to what's going on, the stuff that I don't think y'all are going to affect.
Okay, so the whole point of us going down here in the first place was to get information on this necromancer or this guy giving out books of necromancy. And that information was supposed to be given to us by Eldrick.
Yeah, Airdrick, yeah.
Airdrick. So we have to just track him down again and get that information.
Okay, so is that what you would like to be looking into? Where did Airdrick go?
Where did Airdrick go? Yes, because that's ultimately how we get paid for the bounty on this entire thing. But I also get paid for all the renovations I did to the asylum.
Along with me, I assume.
Yes. So I can study at the college, which I will be redoubling my efforts on since this has taken a lot of my time away.
Fair.
And I'd also, last thing, I would like to talk to, I believe it's Earthmaster Grange, about the genie he was feeding or giving food to down here, what he knows about it, because it's escaped. And he didn't have to be doing that no more, so like I'll fill him in on everything that happened in the so the Earthmaster knows what went on, and I will then if this genie comes back after us, like I'd want to know what to expect. And those are the three things that are on my list: finding Airdrick, redoubling my efforts at the school, and the Earthmaster.
All right. Looking up something right now about Grange. Let's see if I can give that to you right away. I'm going to double check it before I say it. But I'm looking. Hang on just a sec.
He's like, how dare you know about that? You're thrown out of the school. Damn it.
He immediately murders you. Make a new character. There it is. Grange.
Ah, that
There
lovely
it
old
is.
trope.
I am now a goat named Rudel.
All right. Oh, Grange. I am unclear as to what you are speaking of. Tell me more. And as you kind of go have like a back and forth with Grange, what's basically going to happen is that he is going to understand what you're saying, but clues that he understands. Sort of like if I were to tell you, hey, yesterday you and I hung out and we had lunch like we always do at Subway. We do that every Wednesday. What the hell, man? And you're like, I do remember going to Subway every Wednesday and everything's just kind of weird. And then I remember every day I'm back at work. And basically what's going to happen is Grange is going to realize that, and you'll realize with him, that when he first went to go feed this prisoner, he remembered dropping off the meals as required and ignoring the prisoner as required, because those were the conditions set forth when he was paid to do this, and the money, of course, went to the college. But eventually, just because there's someone talking, he listened and he failed a roll, basically a saving throw if you don't go D&D on it. And he kind of fell under the spell of this creature. It was bringing him better food and was doing things that were not necessarily against what Grange was willing to do, but Grange was a very, very willful person. So what he was willing to do that was beyond the pale of what he was supposed to do was very small. So it was very little that he was able to get out of him. So it took him basically like a decade to work on Grange long before you came along to get to a point where you get Grange to help him to give you an order he would not have given. Does that make sense?
Right. Okay, well, now...
But with your help, he's able to put it all together and figure out that he was manipulated. And he seems very mad, but not at you.
Okay, good. I hope that ingratiates him to me, that we were able to piece
It
this
does, actually. That's absolutely... In fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm going to make a note on that.
I saved you, man. I saved you.
Well, not really, because the genie is maybe out there somewhere.
Well, that's fair. You know what? Grange is going to blame you for a genie that manipulated himself for getting away. He's not going to be like, look at this peon. It's all his fault. I was fine.
I didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
It's all my apprentice's fault.
So, all right, that is White Ape. Tom, what is your next goal before we go to the next chapter of this game? What, based on anything that's already happened or anything that you want to do, let me know what you would like to put in here before I go start writing the next chapter of this game.
Let's see. Improving Tom's communication ability a little bit, so that way he can speak with people in Vallanthia a little more fluently, which, you know, right. I already have a book.
That's great. How would you like to accomplish that? How are you going to get better acquainted with the culture around here? Are you going to go and talk to your friends that you've made, like Erda or Ka Ellis or Esri or White Ape, or any of the guards or the people at the temple, or maybe that other Mycenaean that you met once at a store? How are you going to do that?
Probably using all my connections to help with it. And I believe earlier we did get either a book or a scroll for learning Vallanthia, so that way that could help with his continued education. And who knows, maybe he could also, let's see, since this is I'm assuming the end of the adventure, maybe establish a small carpentry shop presence, over here, where he can just do repairs for people of the lower, rings. No, I don't want to.
Well, yeah, you're right. There are rings to this city. You're absolutely remembering that correctly. Okay. The outer ring of the most further from the center is the poorest, and it gets better as you go in.
So Tom wants to help out those people.
Okay. So would you like to use your connections in the outer ring, which was basically there was a blacksmith you met, and there were those people in the inn. You want to work with them?
Sure.
All right, cool. That just helps me to get an idea of how I want to word things as we move forward. So, all right. Those are the connections I will use for you. Anything else you want to add before I move on to, looks like Erda's next?
At the moment, I can't think of anything else. It'll probably have to be off stream if I think of anything else at the moment.
I am fine with that. And right after we do all this, I'm also going to give you all some XP before I leave. All right, Erda.
Ingratiate myself with Ka Ellis and try to basically kind of what I want to do is I see a kindred opposite in Ka Ellis to my character, or at least Erda does, in that we're kind of both wanting to serve in a similar capacity, like for good. But
also have an understanding of the evil magics.
Exactly, and that is not going to ingratiate myself with a lot of people, but I have a feeling that Ka Ellis might understand if I spend time and ease him into the understanding of the position I'm in and where I want to help and how I want to help.
Okay.
And hopefully that can be something that I can work toward. And then also kind of ingratiating myself. He said that he works with the royal, like kind of the royal family.
He did say that. He said he was the demonologist for the Vallanthia family, which is the ruling family of the entire continent.
So basically what I want to do is try to work with him as like not I don't want to say like a tutor or something like that, but as a like a I don't know if apprentice is the right word, but like assisting him in demonology, right? I have a skill set and a knowledge base that I think could help him quite a bit in that realm.
So you're saying you're going to approach him as someone looking to be mentored by him, or as a colleague looking to share info?
In a sense, both. Probably at first it will be in a sense like a mentor-mentee situation, and slowly as I start to divulge more and more of the information that I know, it might develop into more of a collegiate or like colleague stature. But at first I am not going to be as presumptuous as to believe that I am on necessarily the same level as him, though I might have insights that he does not. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he's just like straight up like, dude, I'm a level 10 wizard, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Who do you think you are?
Excuse me. And then the other part is I would also be very apt, especially right after this, to help White Ape find Airdrek, because I feel fairly responsible for his safety, so I want to make sure that he is safe, taken care of, and if possible, looked after. Like, make sure that he can acclimate or reacclimate and readjust to society, life outside of an asylum.
That's right. I can't do this without you, because you are not only my best friend, but also speak Reptile, and I can't speak Reptile.
Yeah, that's super helpful.
It's probably pretty important.
I think aren't you the one who got downloaded into your head?
Yeah, I did. I wrote it down specifically as you said it. So, learned through a magical awakening, allowing Erda to naturally understand the context and evolution of the language itself, as though I knew the entire language and culture from an anthropological perspective, which was how you described it.
Awesome. And wow, good for you for typing all that down.
Luckily, I have quick fingers, so.
Because my note just says downloaded. I'm better describing than I am at making notes.
Exactly.
Matrix.
I was gonna say, well, you were the one to originally describe it, so I
have
don't mind
this
that you
note.
didn't have
My
as
notes
much.
are very bare
He
bones and
doesn't
awful.
remember what he said.
I have this note here that says Matrix
I remember the
Reptile.
important highlights of what I say, because that's in the notes. The rest of it, I make very flowery and cool.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, because
Makes
it did
up
sound
as he
really.
goes along.
It sounded so cool that I felt the need to write it all out.
Howard just has a
Right?
note that says Matrix Reptile. And he's like, what does the movie Matrix and Reptile from Mortal Kombat have to do with each other? I'm going to figure this out.
I can't argue. It's too close to true.
Right?
That's awesome.
For sure.
I know kung fu.
I know reptile foo.
If I had the ability to like just put an emoji of just Keanu Reeves's face, just, and then
Reeves.
Reptile would be like,
Yeah.
yep, that's what that means.
Keanu Reeves lizard face equals Erda.
All my notes are in emojis.
Esri,
Yes.
let's talk about
Okay.
you. I think you're going a different direction than the rest of them. But I'm just guessing. You go ahead and tell me.
Couple things. One, I am gonna go with them and make sure that we get the info we need from Air Direct so we can get paid, because I want to finish the job.
I actually have the information about the Apostles of Flame and the cult that was that abducted Air Drek and used him as the. He told me all that information, so I have it written down.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the
we have
only
that
thing-
already.
tell me-
are a big thing, whereas Kyle Ellis is like, freaking stupid human religions. I don't know. They're like the Apprentices of Flame. What are they called? I don't know, but you're correct. It is Apostles of Flame.
Yeah. Well, I wrote that one down too. I wrote down
good.
those in the notes.
I appreciate you take the notes because ultimately I have all of this written out, but then my actual notes of what happens during game are these weird skeletal
Yeah,
What's
they're
going
just
on with those?
hieroglyphics.
Okay, I have a question. Since the guy who owned the sword is dead, do I get to keep the sword?
unless one of your party members or Ka Ellis tries to rip it from your hands. Ka Ellis didn't know any of you well enough to know who should have had the sword, and he's not a member of either of those religious orders, the Crimson or the Azure, or even just the Temple Light itself.
Well,
He
that's
made it clear
basically what
he's
I'm
not a
asking.
member. He doesn't give a crap.
Are they going to try to get it back?
Unless I didn't hear any of them say it. So you can
Okay.
just add it to your stuff. It does
Okay.
2d6 plus your strength when in an attack, but it is also made of true silver, and that has different effects on certain things, which I am aware
Yes.
of, and you might not always be.
I figured that would be a handy thing to keep around.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Probably.
It is the best at getting like that piece of spinach out of your teeth when you're like, got it.
I loot the body and I take the sword. No.
It's great. It's
You
like
win.
those commercials on
Um,
TV. Have a true silver sword, sell it for cash.
We buy silver swords. Bring them all down. You got a Flamberg? Bring it down. You got a giant two-handed pickaxe? Bring it on down. We buy and sell all silver items at a low, low price.
I can just
We're
imagine.
practically giving it away.
I could just imagine the commercial continuing to go like Billy Bob's Beds. I'll poke you with my sword anytime, baby. Ooh, Billy Bob, I'm heading your way.
Oh God, Billy Bob's
I
Beds,
hate that
dude.
commercial.
That's a
Okay,
deep cut
so-
for anyone from San Antonio. God damn, dude.
It's a deep cut for me because of Sarah specifically.
I hope that
Okay, I
commercial.
have to know the story behind that statement.
I hope
That's
this.
up to Sarah, or I don't know. Sarah, you can tell it or me. You decide.
You go ahead.
So she went to Billy Bob's Beds to get a bed, and I guess because she's hot or whatever, they give her a free T-shirt, and it was a giant, big old pink T-shirt. I slept in Billy Bob's bed. Sarah, for our viewers at home, is like 5'0" nothing, and I am a 6 foot tall person. And therefore, of the two of us, guess which one of us ends up wearing a pink T-shirt that says "I slept in Billy Bob's bed."
Yes, I did buy a Billy Bob's bed at one point, and they do give you a free T-shirt when you do that.
Uh-huh.
So,
That's awesome.
if anybody not, most of our viewers are not from San Antonio. They're very international. So-
What?
So I hope that the Billy Bob's Bed commercial is on YouTube somewhere, and y'all can look that up and watch it.
Oh,
It
It
is.
is obnoxious.
if you would like nightmares, listen to Billy Bob's Beds commercials.
Texas commercials are something to our treasure.
Yeah,
Like
they are.
the Texas
You know,
Hammer.
in Austin, our big problem is a different one is elders cars.
I was gonna say, there's a car dealership that I would always get every day, just constant commercials for. I couldn't remember the name of it, but you're right,
Elder.
100%. Yeah, Elder.
Anyway, so back to the game.
So the other thing I'm gonna do in my off time, after I make sure we get paid, we finish our job and we get paid, I'm gonna go to that dude's house and talk to his servants and meet up with him so I can study with him.
Dude being Kyle Ellis.
Research. Yes.
All right, so you want to study with Kyle Ellis? Cool.
Yes.
All right.
And find
I'm
out
gonna
what
put
I
that all
what I
in
can find out.
to this stuff that I'm going to prepare for our next leg of the campaign. And at that point, I can say that it is almost 12:30, but I have 3 more minutes, which is enough time to give you all a little XP, just a little.
Everybody gets 2 XP.
Excellent.
That's it. No. I feel that this was an absolute success. You had at this time your return to the asylum kicked the absolute crap out of the asylum. It was a little easier because you had some help and a little bit more research this time. You knew what you were going into, and you'd already defeated half the monsters there on the way out the last time. But I'm going to give all of you 5 character points and 1 new fate point. If you didn't already, if you already have 1, great. You now have 2. So there you go.
Yay.
Yay!
Awesome.
Write that down. It's important. You'll want those later. In addition,
yeah.
every time you screw up, that gives you a free character point, but only applicable to the thing you screwed up doing.
Nice.
Yay! And that is it. If
sweet
y'all want to do anything between now and next game will be 2 weeks from now because next weekend I'll have custody of my son. That's how that works. So we're going to be every other week. But in that time, if you're like, hey, I really want to do this, can I do this with my stuff? Give me an email or a message on Discord or call me. I think you all have my numbers. So figure it out. And starting next game, it's going to be a new chapter in Vallanthia, and I look forward to running it with everyone.
Hey,
And for those people at home, like and subscribe.
yes,
Do the Patreon thing. Click the bell. Hit a dog. I don't care. Whatever you do.
please don't hit a dog. But if you watch this video all the way through, you obviously liked it, so hit the like button. If you want to see more, of course, you can subscribe and hit the bell so you know we do this every other Friday now. That'll be it for
Yeah,
this
come join
chapter.
us tomorrow for Cyber Samurai Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.